I know you guys cracked those beers already, and I should have. I do an opening crack for the episode.
Let's grab another one.
Let's grab another one, dude. I'm gonna eat drinking.
Give me another hams.
Yeah, okay.
I'll take a Modelo. I don't trust hams anymore. They betrayed me.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that.
Alright.
Oh, can I crack yours?
Yeah, you can crack mine. Yeah, for sure. You actually come not going to drink all three, bud.
Alright. I got you a hams. I got you a
you need a big
Modelo.
wave?
I changed my mind. I want a big wave.
Okay, you get the... Okay.
Blew it.
Is that IPA?
No.
It's a golden ale.
Golden ale.
Oh,
We have it at work. We have it on tap. If you want to come in and get a big one.
Yeah, I thought of it after you.
Do you want a big wave?
It's gonna spill on you. Give it. You're not even wearing your eating sweater.
True, it's not your eating, so-
We gotta hold that story.
Yeah.
We'll tell you
We're
what
gonna
the
have to
eating
remember
sweater
that.
is.
We don't need to tell them.
Yes, we do.
All right. Let's wait for the podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I have a picture of Chris falling asleep today like this, and then I wish I would have got it because his hat fell off. And then he woke up and he was like...
Dude, his wife totally burned him today. Just a picture of him in a chair.
I had that exact so you were driving.
Yeah.
He fell asleep like that. Eric was asleep, and his hat was doing the thing where it's like over his eyes but like off, and he was like. And I sat there. I was like, I could take this picture.
You're good.
But I'm not going to.
Oh, you're so nice.
Yeah, that's very kind of you.
All right.
Let us know.
So I'll count us down, and then I'll do a little intro, bring the four of you in. And
Okay.
We'll have a good time.
Absolutely.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Beers with Bands podcast with your host, Michael Torres. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Beers with Bands. Very stoked to be having these dudes coming through. They're a long way from home. I'm sitting down with Winter Forever. How y'all doing?
Woo! You're doing great, man.
Dude.
It's good to be here.
I mean, first time in Minneapolis. We'll try to make it at least a memorable one.
Yeah.
So I hope it's going well so far.
Yeah, I do. I like the city.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
cool
cool
city.
bands tonight.
Any night where somebody hands me 2 beers for free.
Beers, dude. Yeah. We have nothing to complain
Also,
about.
Boise is a Twins
Yeah,
fan,
go
so
Twins.
Yeah.
chilling across the street from Target feels pretty sick.
Yeah.
Just pretty. It's always surreal every time I go to that venue. It just being like, okay, there's Target Field.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's very weird and daunting sometimes. But for people that might not be aware of Winter Forever, you guys are an emo band, like I said, from Boise, Idaho.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I understand why it's an emo band. It's Boise, Idaho. I feel like as someone from Iowa, I feel like I can say that at least a little bit.
There are reasons to be kind of down a little bit sometimes. Right about it, I'd say. Yeah.
I mean, close to the Pacific Northwest. It's like vibes are coming off it.
Sure.
But you guys are in town. You guys are on tour currently for the Home Feels Like a Luxury Hotel tour, which, I mean, I think you said, what, day 12 of the tour?
Yeah,
Something like that?
I've lost a little track. I think it's 12. We got 2 more days, 2 more days of shows, and then 1 day of driving home, and then we're done for that. So come to the end here.
Dude, hell yeah. Well, hopefully it's gone well. I know we'll talk some stories probably from it here in a little bit.
Sure.
But before we get too kind of far into this, can you kind of go around and say who you are and what you do in Winter Forever?
Sure.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start with Jess.
I play guitar. I do some wheedly woos and deedly doos. Yeah.
I'm Eric. I play guitar as well.
Yeah.
I'm Corey. I play guitar and I sing a little bit.
I'm Chris. I play the drums. But Eric, you lied to them. You did not play guitar.
He
today.
plays guitar.
For the audience, Eric's playing bass on this tour because our bassist couldn't make it.
Yeah.
So he bit the bullet, learned our songs on bass, even though he's never played bass live before.
Yeah, so we're actually a 5-piece.
Yeah, he's crushing it. So.
And who is this infamous fifth member that
His
couldn't
name
make it?
is Max Graham. Hi, Max.
Yeah.
I know last names, but...
His address is.
His social security number.
If you don't want us giving that out, come on tour next time.
We love Max. Everybody say hi to Max.
This is where I normally say, this is where we pour one out for the members that can't be here with us today.
Okay.
We don't pour out beer here, we just drink beer. So
Okay.
for Max. Just for Max.
To Max.
But, I mean, I did a deep dive of all Winter Forever today.
Okay.
I gotta say, starting even 2018, the debut EP, it's phenomenal all the way through. You guys are fucking killing it. For people that haven't checked out the EPs, it's The Bends, which came out in August of 2018. Then you followed up with your debut LP. We're All Barely Here, which is again phenomenal. And I think that was 2021 when you guys released that one.
We're All Barely Here is actually the EP.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The Bends is our first single.
Oh yeah, sorry, I had it in the wrong order.
You're good,
Bends was the first single in 2018.
Yes.
We're All Barely Here was the first EP, you are correct, and then it was Levitas in 2021.
Yes,
so sorry about that.
No, you're
no worries.
You're on saying it right, man. It took me forever to fucking
Pronounce it right.
Yeah, that's a fucking band.
I was on the plane today just like, Levitas. So
Why it is.
Yeah. What we want to do is trick people when we're naming things.
It's always a good idea to make your thing hard to pronounce.
I can't help but feel like these are jabs at me.
But it makes it cool and mysterious.
Just your genius marketing.
I stand by it.
That sounds cool.
like where most people would have just said levitating, you're like Levitas.
Yeah,
Let's make it
I was like, what if it
spooky.
was Latin and crazy?
Yeah.
Also, what if it's something you shouldn't say in church? Bingo.
Yeah.
Also, he likes to do the thing where he goes, we have a song called Levitate from that record, and he'll be like, this is the title track, and people are like, the song's not called Levitas. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Just in a different language.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
But like I said, you guys are on My Home Feels Like a Luxury Hotel tour to celebrate the second EP, the sophomore EP, that came out in January.
Our first release on Heading East Records.
Yeah,
too.
and we'll talk about Heading East here in a second, but this is a phenomenal EP.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I've enjoyed listening to it, and I'm happy that on stage you told people when it came out, because I had to double check my notes, because for some reason on Apple Music it says it came out in August of last year.
Oh shit!
So
that's when I think that's when the first single.
Oh, that's when the single came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Tailpipes dropped in August of last year.
That's true. Yeah.
So the whole EP says it dropped at the same time last year. So I put it in my notes, and I was about to be like, I don't know how I missed this EP in 2024. Like, there was a lot of bangers that year.
Sure.
But this is one that has been phenomenal and should have been known about last year, but came out this year.
Yes.
And it, like I said, it's been phenomenal to listen to.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if you noticed, I was singing along today because, I did listen to it quite a bit. There are some heaviness in these songs at the same time, but, I feel all in all, this is the epitome of what, a good emo record should be.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you so much.
I feel like all our lyrics are light and fluffy.
Yeah, I mean,
Or he's the happiest person I know.
there's some downer stuff in it, but I think if you can take something away from it, like a connection, then hopefully if you can connect with someone else being a little down, then hopefully that makes you feel better.
I don't know if this is jumping ahead too far, because I don't know if you're gonna ask about individual songs, but we have a song called Soft Teeth, which is about some pretty heavy stuff, and I always feel bad because the chorus is very musically upbeat, and me and Jess always look at each other when we're playing and we're smiling, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember what the song's about. But I mean, that's kind of the juxtaposition of the type of music we play is
I can't look at them because that's usually the worst song for me to play every night. So I'm just gonna look straight ahead and not watch. But it's a good wrote it for a reason. So good song.
Now, are you the primary songwriter between the five of you then?
Yes.
Yeah, I especially lyrically and stuff. I usually put most of it together. We've had a lot of writing sessions, especially Jess and I kind of get together a lot. He's the whole reason the band exists. But
no, it's both of us.
Yeah, I just mean you're if you hadn't, he was trying to steal me from my it worked. So but yeah, if he hadn't done that, we wouldn't be where we're at. And Tailpipes, he actually came to practice with that guitar part of his all worked out, and I was like, I got lyrics for this, dude.
Dude, it's so funny because he'll just oh yeah, I got that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, he'll just put stuff together.
He has a notebook with just infinite lyrics. And,
yeah,
music wise, we do the old school thing of writing in the room. Like we all. One person will have the initial idea.
Usually it's Corey. He'll have a basic structure, and
but then the song might musically might not end up sounding eventually like what his first structure was, but lyrics is all him.
But for Tailpipes, he's just like, oh yeah, I've got something. He just started banging it out. I'm like, how? Literally how?
Yeah.
I was like, I spent weeks figuring out this guitar, this whole guitar part, and he just puts lyrics to it in 10 minutes.
I mean, it's weird. I used to I'm not a confident person. I've gotten better at it, but I'm still not fully there. But I'm learning to play to my strengths, and hearing music and being able to put words to it. I'm starting to realize I'm pretty okay at. So, just hearing the guitar parts is dude, I know exactly what I'm just gonna open up my notebook, find the page. I'm like, okay, go ahead. And then I was like, I guess I got to write guitar for that. So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of how that song came to be. And then the rest of them were just stuff I had been noodling around with for a long time. And then I'm like, let's just write these songs. But like Chris said, I always have an idea. These guys are all so talented. And I think that's kind of what I did on purpose after Jess started coming around. So I was like, okay, I'm going to because I've only had one other band before this, and so I was like, I'm gonna cherry pick the people I think are the best at what they do locally that I can make something with, and so then when I come into a room, especially since we added Eric, that adds one more tool to my head. I'm like, all right, cool. So I don't know exactly what they're gonna do ever, but I kind of have an idea. This is how they play guitar. This is the style of music they write. These guys are very mathy. It's very cool.
So, Eric is the newest addition to the band,
so having those tools at my disposal, I come in with a little bit of a preconceived notion. Okay, this is kind of how it's going to sound, and then 9 times out of 10, it starts out that way and it starts to sound how I wanted it to sound, and then they take it a step further. I'm like, damn, okay, that's way cooler than I even anticipated. So then it gets me excited, and then I want to write better. And so I don't know. I never thought of myself as a musician, but these guys have turned me into one, which is a very cool feeling.
You're a good musician, yeah.
That's because of you guys.
Yeah, I mean, watching the show tonight, everything was amazing. You guys are so on point, and just you talking about the self confidence, on stage, you fucking kill it as a lead. And I got to give you props real quick because there's a point in the set tonight where you kind of threw off your beanie and it landed perfectly on the drum mic.
I don't know if you saw that me and him walked out. I
looked at Eric.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I looked at Eric, and Eric looks at me and goes, I looked over at Chris, and Chris was like,
damn, where was I, dude?
You were falling down.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you guys saw that too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, my foot there's a little gap between the stage and the wall. My foot just falls in there. I'm just ah! I'm like, please don't break my ankle. Please don't break my ankle.
Jess has gotten hurt. Every tour for the last probably 3 tours.
Oh my god!
So I was like, okay, this is it. This is
one tour. I twisted my ankle. Just in our Airbnb, nothing. Walking downstairs.
That's their fault. They shouldn't have put a laundry machine in their garage.
It was their fault. And then last tour, I sliced my freaking finger open.
That was our fault.
Yeah,
that was our fault. We should never have had.
And I do tapping, so I'm I have a sliced open finger. I just wrapped it up, put a finger condom on, and I was just tapping with just a bloody finger. I was like, oh, gotta get through.
That's in Texas.
That's crazy.
So I was like, please let this be the tour where I don't injure myself.
There's still 2 days.
Yeah. Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, I didn't want to bring any of this stuff up because of that, dude.
Yeah. I had to bring it up because you said, I wanted this tour to go right.
Yeah.
You just gotta balance it back out. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta tell them to break a leg. That's true. That's what the actors do. Right?
Are we telling more stories? Because it started off right.
Yeah, we'll pepper them in.
Okay.
But also hearing you talk about how you'll come up with something and these guys will kind of play off of that and go bigger.
Yeah.
I'm really stoked to how it's going to be now with Eric in the band with 3 guitars, and just how this next release, whatever comes after this, is just going to be another notch higher.
Yeah. So when we wrote Home Feels Like a Luxury Hotel, we had extra guitar parts that we put in there.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of songs on the EP that already have 3 guitar
parts in there, and so we're just why don't we just get another guitarist, and like so we can do it live because like it just sounds so much more full and stuff like that.
And Eric was in our favorite Boise band.
Yeah.
They were called Whippin' Shitties. Shout out Whippin'
Oh,
Shitties.
hell yeah.
Rest in
I've
peace.
heard of you guys.
Rest in peace. Hell yeah.
Crazy.
I think when I started the Twitter, I found like Whippin' Shitties, and
Hell yeah.
because when we were touring, and anytime we needed a U-turn, I would tell the boys, "Hang on, I'm whipping a shitty."
Yeah.
And they thought it was the funniest fucking thing.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, we love Whippin' Shitties. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Braden,
come back.
come back to Boise.
I mean, no, because we need Eric.
That's true. Yeah, Braden stay in California.
Yeah.
But
Braden, we love you, but you can't have him back.
So yeah, we were like, dude, let's get Eric on board. He was already showed interest in like playing with us and
Yeah,
stuff like
we
that.
asked him like 2 years ago. Actually,
Yeah.
and then like it just kind of didn't work out with timing because
So,
his
yeah.
other band was going. But
So now we like, I think he plays those sections that we had in, it was like a luxury hotel. You got to play him live in Philly because our bassist flew in for that show.
Nice.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, we get to write with them, and that's going to be so much better, dude. It's going to be great.
I wrote a couple parts.
He didn't know, but like
yeah.
this was
On
going to
the
be
record,
built
yeah,
around
yeah.
the 3 guitars, and I think it's going
I
to...
wish we had the 3 guitar parts and tailpipes, dude. His parts are so cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's really, really cool.
That's
I guess that means you got to come see us live.
Yeah.
That's giving Jess credit too, because Jess and I were doing a different project, and Jess has pushed me to become such a better guitar player. We're kind of jerking you off.
Oh, you...
But for real, like Jess has made me so much better at tapping.
Yes.
And like
we try to like throw in our favorite kind of guitar playing
Yeah.
whenever we can. We don't want to do too much.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
it's like well we have a math band.
Yeah.
So we can't like go full math.
Yeah, but we want to just pepper in some
some
little
tapping.
influences.
Sometimes I'm like, guys, remember this is in 4.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we like to pepper that in. But yeah, it's great having Eric on our. So now we can write a record like around 3 guitars. But this one also like. Yeah, seeing it live with all of, like the guitar parts that are in the record.
Yeah, like we said, Home Feels Like a Luxury Hotel already had a ton of...
third guitar parts.
so it took 3 guitars for us to actually play it how the record
sounds.
Right.
Yeah, and so I think it works really well. Like it's like super full and big and just like it's great.
It's our final form.
It is our final form for sure.
And your gold Frieza.
So sick. And then with it coming out in January, like how did it feel to finally have kind of something out after you guys have kind of done 3 years and release and then 3 years again.
Yeah.
Granted, COVID was in
Not
there, so,
intentionally.
yeah,
Yes,
so, like,
COVID.
Yeah.
There's an asterisk there.
Yeah, so for Levitas, we got all the music done for right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Like, and then we're like, fuck.
So we did Levitas with Nathan Hussey from I'll Get Out.
Yeah.
Shout out Nathan.
Hey Nathan,
Yeah.
we love you.
Yeah.
And he flew to Boise and we recorded a studio there called
Audio Lab? Or?
Audio Lab.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, and a really cool studio. We did the drums, all the instruments there. And then so that was a week.
Yeah, it was like a week for that. We
So
rushed it.
I think I did all the drums in a
One
day.
day.
I played drums for like 15 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I thought it was going to be easy, but they made me keep going in there and playing guitar with you.
Yeah. Anyway, so we did all the instruments for Levitas, and then Corey had to fly out separately, like months later,
September.
Yeah.
to record the vocals. And where'd you guys do it?
Alabama. So, yeah, we did the instruments, like I said, in Boise in February. And literally the day Nathan flew home, he got home, and the next day they shut down
Oh my
airports.
god.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh. And then, like, honestly, I don't think that record would have turned out the way it did because I had so much time to sit with just because he was mixing the instrumental. So, like, I was able to hear it. I was like, okay, I'm going to kind of change how I do some of this.
Because you were supposed to fly out way before that.
Yeah, I was supposed to
to
go out like within 2 or 3 weeks. So I think the record would have sounded very different had I just gone and done it. But didn't fly out till September.
So we got to hear like mixes of the instrumentals back before. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then in September, I flew out to Alabama. Still very like all masked up, all like crazy stuff. And then he came and got me at the airport. I rented out, say, a little shack on the river, and we lucked out. It was honestly like it sounds crazy, and when I talk about it, I think I might be a psychotic person. It didn't exist at all, but it was an Airbnb on the river that like didn't belong there, and you went in and it was just like it looked like somebody tried to make like a tiki shack in Alabama, so it had like the straw roof.
Yeah.
And you go in, you open the door, and there's just a boat on its side. But if you pull it down, it's the bed.
Just hanging on the friggin' wall.
Yeah. And so like I slept in a boat for 10 days.
That sounds like the most Alabama.
Yeah. And then it was a studio, so like the bathroom was here, and then you'd walk in, there was a couch, and then there was like a counter that was also like the kitchen table. Mm-hmm. And so like when Nathan got there, we set up all the stuff on that counter, and I would cook lunch because we went to Aldi and we bought like a bunch of food. So like I was just cooking. It was just chicken, tortillas, and cheese. That's all I could afford. So it was just literally I had fucking chicken tacos every day, and like I would get a vegetable like every other day. But like I was like, all right, this is cooking lunch, and then like I couldn't even turn around and put it on the table because like that was where all the music stuff was. So I was just like eating straight out of the pan. And then we would do all the vocals in the living room, and then we'd like push the couch away and then set up every single day. But we lucked out because they had sprayed soundproofing on all of the walls and everything to like seal it.
Yeah.
So like it was a perfect room to be doing that in. So like the only time, there's a couple times like we were recording where like we'd have to redo it because I could hear Nathan like tapping or something. I was like, well, that's not going to work.
Wasn't there like a crazy boat parade or something?
Yeah, so that was like during the big Trump boat parade. So like during yeah,
Alabama.
so during our breaks, I would be out on the patio because we had a deck too that overlooked the river. I was like, this is great, but like they'd be floating by. So like a lot of the times, I have like 100 pictures on my phone of just my middle finger like this, like, while like these people are yelling, and I was like, I don't care, like, but
yeah. So like COVID kept us from doing a lot of stuff. Basically, 2 years gone.
We didn't even see each other.
Yeah, we didn't even see each other.
We all hung out over the internet for 2 years.
Just watching Dread on streaming into each other. Yeah.
I'm like, they're all pretty introverted. I'm very extroverted, and I would get lonely, and I would text Jess, will you watch Star Trek with me? And like we would just like over Zoom just watch Star Trek.
But yeah, so like we had a lot of big period where we couldn't get together. Like we were like individually writing some stuff, but like it's just like it doesn't work.
And this whole time Levitas is being mixed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't done
you finished the vocals in
September. We got the final mixes like December 27th or something.
Yeah. And we're like, okay, we'll sit on it for a little bit. Maybe we can release and tour on it. It just like kept going.
Yeah. So we
was like, fuck it, we're just gonna release it, put it out there.
April was
May.
May. Okay, so we released it in May of almost a year. Well, over a year after we had recorded the instruments.
Yeah.
And still we couldn't tour on it or anything.
But anyways, yeah. So it is good to finally get to like new music out there, and we got to work with friggin'
Fred Mascherino.
I would say you're jumping ahead. So
I want to get to the good parts.
Yeah. Okay, so Levitas was done. We did some tours on that. We met some cool people.
Yeah.
And then do you know who Like Roses is?
Yeah.
So we played. They came to Boise. We had played a random show with Amy from Like Roses band in San Francisco.
She played drums.
She played drums in this band.
Okay.
And this was before they blew up. She was like, "Oh, you gotta play with my other band, Like Roses." And we were like, we checked them out. We're like, "Oh, you guys sound sick." So yeah. So they blew up. They came to Boise. They're like, "Oh, you guys want to play with us?" We're like, "Oh, absolutely." Yeah. They're like, "Oh, well, our friend Fred might be stopping by," and that's all they said. We were
said, "Fred, do you mind if he
he might do an acoustic
set afterwards?"
Yeah, and we're like, "Yeah, sure." Well, the Fred they met was Fred Mascherino from Taking Back Sunday. So he walks in and he goes, "Hi, I'm Fred," and we're all like, "Oh, yeah, we know." Yeah.
I did not say that. Yeah. As soon as I saw him, I walked the other way. I was like, "Oh no, not for me, bud."
So he watches our set, plays a surprise acoustic set after ours.
He watched our set, and then he came and talked to me afterwards. He's like, "Hey, I really liked your guys' set," and I was like, "Oh, thanks, dude." And then he's like, "I'm Fred Mascherino." I was like, "Yeah, I know who you are."
he invites Corey to sing, what song did you sing? Set Phasers to Stun with him on stage. Amy sang Make Damn Sure with him.
Cool.
And so after the whole night, he goes to Corey and is like, "Hey, you guys should come record with me." And we're like, "Well, we are due for another something."
At the time, too, Nathan was already calling. He's like, "Yeah, you should come record another record." So I was like, I kind of already talked. Like, we have a producer.
Yeah.
And then worked out really well because like
Nathan had something come up.
He's like, well, I have to go on tour. I was like, well, he's like, can you wait till August? I was like, no.
Yeah.
And so then I just called Fred. I was like, yo, can we still do this? And he's like, yep. And I was like, that's all I need to do.
Yeah, so we went out to Fred's studio in Philly.
Westchester,
yeah. Right outside Philly. And that was in April of 2023? Or 2024?
2024.
2024. Yeah, we spent a week there and recorded the Home Feels Like a Luxury Hotel EP. At Diver Down Studios. Fred and Steve, we love you.
Yeah.
Steve! Steve is Fred's engineer there.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's also the guitarist in the Color Fred.
Yeah, he's also the guitarist in the Color Fred. And then, so we record those. It comes out in January, and Fred mentions, hey, you want to come play Heading East Fest in April?
Yeah.
It's going to be at the Fillmore, or the Foundry, which is the top level of the Fillmore in Philly. And we're like, yeah. So that's what this tour is we knew we wanted to get out to Philly by April 19th.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to just get us shows all the way out and all the way back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, thankfully it worked out. I mean, that's a long trek if, like, something would have, like, fell through. Obviously, you guys had an off day yesterday, but I know how it goes to, like, get somewhere and be like, oh, fuck, like, we didn't have anything here. So what do we do for a day? So, you know, especially going from Idaho to Philly, that's a fucking trek.
We had 2 birthdays on this tour. The 13th was Corey's, and mine was yesterday.
Sick.
So we took. Oh, thank you. So we took the train we parked in Gary, Indiana.
Miller.
That's still in Gary.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I was asleep.
Miller's just the station.
Yeah.
So we parked at Miller Station in Gary, Indiana. Took the tram into Chicago. Went to Chicago Music Exchange, which is like a famous. They saw guitars and. There was
played some reverence.
Played some reverence. Played some reverence. They were very nice. But yeah, we spent a day celebrating. So it was good we had a day off. But yeah, it is a bit of a trek. Every time we come like east, we have a good time though. We every time we come east, we're like have a good time. In the Midwest, we always have a fucking great time in the Midwest.
Anytime we have a day off, we're like, is there a signature food where we are? Yeah, that's like our number one way to fill time is.
We've had some ups and downs on this tour, so
we played a few fests, and those were definitely the ups.
3 fests total, I think, on this entire road, which is pretty amazing.
One more Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday in Denver.
First fest was in Orem, Utah. Baldwin Guitars Power Chord Fest. That was awesome.
Very cool.
And then that night we hit a deer.
Which was also my birthday.
It was like 30 minutes after.
Yeah, it was like 12:30. So
God.
30 minutes after midnight.
So we have a bus that we convert, like a school bus, like when we converted into like a touring vehicle, and we all just like sleep in there and stuff like that. We built beds and whatever, and it sleeps all of us. So what we like to do is like play the show, drive a couple hours, get a head start on the next thing. What we didn't know is that the pass we were going on is like
in between Salt Lake and Denver.
Salt Lake and Denver is like the third most dangerous like section of highway in the country.
I was wondering why there was nobody on the road. Yeah.
So we're driving along. I'm like, we were gonna go for like a couple hours or like an hour and a half or something like that. And like I pulled up the phone, like, okay, let's find a rest stop. We can stop because we usually like just find a truck stop and we just like pull over, sleep in the truck stop because we can just like sleep in the bus. It was like I'm looking it up. I'm like, yeah, I'll find a truck stop for us. And then I hear Chris go, "Oh fuck!" And then I just see deer legs go like this, and I go, "Did we just hit a deer?" He's like, "Yes." He was like so upset. He's so mad at this fucking deer that decided to jump in front of us.
Yeah. So Corey was asleep.
Well, from my perspective, what happened was I was asleep, but before I went to sleep, I heard "Happy Birthday, Corey." I was like, "Cool, go to sleep." And then I hear them talking like while I'm sleeping. And I hear him like, yeah, we should like, there's like a Love's or something like 24 minutes away, so we'll just stop there. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm asleep. And when I wake up, I open my eyes and it's just dark. And I can't figure out how, so I start like moving stuff and I'm pulling guitars and drums and amps off of me.
Oh my God.
And then
because I hit the brakes.
Yeah.
And then I get out and I just look at Eric and say, what happened? And then like I was just the most confused. I kept like looking at the ground. I was like, my shoes are somewhere. I don't know where they're at right now.
Yeah, it was the most confused I've ever seen you look.
Yeah, I didn't.
So
like,
Eric
no idea.
and Corey get out, and we didn't want. It was a sizable deer, so we didn't want to leave it in the middle of the road. So another car. Yeah. So they get big sticks, and they were trying to push it off the side of the road. And they did, yeah. And I'm looking at our, our shattered grill and stuff. And yeah, they're like, "Oh, poor deer," and I'm just like, "Fuck that deer!" Like, I'm so mad. I'm like, all I had to do was not jump out in front of us. Like, but I see some coolant leaking, and I'm like, God damn it! So we were like, we weren't quite over the pass yet, so we just went back downhill to Spanish Fork, Utah.
Yeah. On the way there, we see fucking deer. All over
dead deer
everywhere in the middle of everywhere. We're like, whoa, fuck.
Yeah. So we get back. We call a mobile mechanic. He comes out, replaces our radiator. Because we were like, okay, maybe tour's done. Maybe we don't make it out to heading east fast.
Yeah, a lot of days.
We were like, I was like,
I thought we were done.
I thought we were done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, it's over. Yeah. But yeah, mobile mechanic fixed in like 2 hours, dude.
Yep.
Dude was a boss.
Yep.
Shout out to Zach, dude.
Yep. Zach, if I remembered your business name, I'd say it right now.
Yeah. We'll put it in the comments.
This is a fishing story, though, kind of, because every time the story gets told, the deer gets bigger.
It was a doe. It was not a buck.
It was a doe.
It was a doe. It was not a buck. No horns. So.
Eric, shut the fuck up.
This deer was like 7,000 pounds.
This was the biggest deer in North America.
We didn't say anything about the size.
It was an elk.
It was a moose.
It was a size. It was an adult deer.
Was it a deer that running over would have been a problem?
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is I know Chris well enough to know that I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, you say whatever you want.
Yeah, he was get pile drive.
Was he gonna hit me in the dick for a fourth time?
Yeah. I'm just saying, you've been bullied this entire tour. You think it's gonna stop now?
Yeah. No, I don't expect it to stop.
Eric, next interview, I'm gonna say it's a moose, and you better shut up.
But yeah, so like tours overall though, it's been a good time. We've had a lot of good shows.
Yeah,
some really cool.
The biggest show we've ever played.
Some of the biggest shows we've ever played. So
that's a stage I never thought I'd step on, so that was cool.
Yeah, the Foundry was awesome.
And honestly, it's just good to get out. Especially after COVID, you're like, thank God we get to go out and play music again. You know, it feels so.
It's so funny saying after COVID because like. I know that we all know that it's like there's no after COVID. It just fucking lives here. Yes. But like it's just such a like normal thing to say because like
what else?
The United States doesn't care.
Yeah.
So like that's what's really happening.
Sure.
But like for like normal people, like it's after COVID. I'm like, well, kind of. But like so like the fun part of our brain is like, yeah, hell yeah, bud. And then the bad part of our brain is like, well, it's not done yet.
I mean, we just had a band drop out tonight.
The bill was different tonight, but Neighbor Dog had to drop off because the singer got COVID.
They ripped too. That's
Neighbor Dog, we'd love to play with you when we come back.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah, you guys for sure have to come back because like I said, it was a rough night. Like there wasn't a lot, but Minneapolis. Then you guys need, if you're listening, you need to listen to Winter Forever. Bring them back.
Come out. We'll give you high fives, free high fives.
Yeah. But kind of jumping back into this record, like it's so packed with all this emotion, but it's done so well. We're like, kind of how you guys are having that moment where you guys are on stage, like just smiling along with it. Like you're singing along, you're having those good feels, but then like when you really get deep down, you're like, oh fuck, like this man has issues. Like not issues, not issues per se,
you're right.
But, like,
you're right.
Has gone through some shit type deal.
You're right.
Like which we all feel.
Of course.
We've all gone through different scenarios, and like it hits. Like some of the stuff like I connected with, and it like hit really well. But like overall, like I can't say enough. Phenomenal EP.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think we're pretty proud of it. We had a good time writing it. I mean, overall, like when you get into that writing mode, when you're writing about heavy stuff, obviously there's going to be times where you're just like it's like kind of a lot, and like it weighs on you. But I think I don't want to say like you don't have to be in negative emotions to create a good art, but if you can translate your negative emotions into good art, it's cathartic, I think, and it makes you can make really good art out of like releasing those emotions, I think.
Yeah.
Well, and negative emotions don't have to stay negative by it. Art is a way of like making that a universal like truth that other people can connect with.
You don't have to be alone with your negative
emotions. Exactly. Yeah.
Anything you want to say about that as the writer?
I don't know, like this still, like I said, is new to me. Like these guys have been playing music their whole lives. I started way later, so I'm just like figuring out how to do it. But yeah, like as far as it goes, like I don't think I would write the songs if I wasn't able to feel like I was getting something out. And like like you said, like some of the topics, especially the upbeat one that we played second to last night, are very very tough to think about or talk about, but like I'm getting better at it. And I mean that's what those songs are. They're not supposed to be like, oh, feel bad for me. It's like things happen, and like, you know, you're gonna miss people, you're gonna wish things were different, but like life happens and you move through things, especially heavy things. Nobody has a fucking playbook, nobody has an outline. You wade through it and figure it out. And the people that are still here, the people that are still like doing it, like if they can connect with it or find something in it, like then I'm glad that I wrote something like that. So
absolutely,
it's just a good way to be like, you will get through it. Corey got through it, and like maybe if you connect to this song, you can get through it too. Like just be like, hey, there is light at the end of that tunnel. You know?
And that's the cool thing about music. Like I never knew music was my path or whatever. But this time went on, like I found myself listening to more and more music and be like, man, this is cool. Like I feel exactly what this person's saying. Like obviously I don't understand what they're talking about, but like I've put it to my life, and so like I was like, man, I think I can do that. So
do you ever stop and think about the fact that you make people feel like how you felt?
Absolutely not.
Like,
no, absolutely not.
I mean, there's somebody with your lyrics tattooed.
Is there really?
There's a couple people.
That's fucking crazy.
It's weird.
Like crazy in like a cool way. Not crazy, like crazy.
No, it's like I always have a double-edged sword for me, because the one part of me is like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
But the other part of me is like, that's so fucking sick, dude. I was like, thank you so much. I was like, you have no idea. Like
we're very like humbled by stuff like
what
that.
like that means the world to me, that obviously like you felt something so close to your heart that you were willing to put that on your body forever. I was like, I don't have words just other than thank you. Like
speaking of people with tattoos on their body, I gotta mention our fan Kira from Florida. We booked
a show just to play for her.
Yeah, we booked a southern tour just because we wanted to get to Florida to play for her.
There's a person named Kira in Florida, and she's awesome. She's listened to us literally since day one.
Dude, hell yeah.
She got a tattoo of
the hat logo.
Yeah, so our hat that has the skeleton hand she has that tattoo with Winter Forever below it. We last fall in October we booked a tour, and when we booked Florida, we were like thinking of Kira. We're like, we're gonna get to play and then some things happened.
In Louisiana, our truck tire flew off.
Oh yeah. So the back of our bus has dualies, and I'm driving down the highway.
Yeah, it's Chris again driving.
Yeah, I'm driving down the highway in Louisiana, and I see a tire that looks suspiciously like one of our tires in our big reviews just jump into the swamp.
Was it the biggest tire in the world?
Yeah. just jumps into the swamp.
It's like a back roads in Louisiana.
And then I feel ka-tuh as our second dually comes off.
Yeah.
And I turn around and go, we lost the tires.
Dude, I was in the back. I was like looking at my phone, and I feel just like a big thump. I was like, what the fuck was that? He's like, we just lost a tire. But like, because like the bus is so solid that it's just like grinding against the ground. But it's not like, it's just like a beast, you know?
So I wrestle it to the side of the road.
Honestly, he saved our life.
Dude,
we could have rolled into a ditch.
Absolutely.
Chris is a phenomenal driver.
Absolutely hero.
So I get it to the side of the road. We had to call a few tow trucks.
Yeah, because
before...
they're like, because they're like, we can't tow something that big.
Yeah. So we have a converted school bus. I don't know if we said that.
Yeah.
The short bus. Yeah, we ride in a short bus. You can make the jokes. Yeah. But so get it to us. We were in Baton Rouge for 5 days while it was being fixed. And during those 5 days, a hurricane came through. So we thought, maybe we could still make our last Florida show, which is the one that Kira was coming to, and it wouldn't have mattered anyway because a hurricane came through.
It was just like it was not meant to be.
But we will play for you eventually.
We will get to Florida. Floridians.
I mean, worst comes to worst, I'll bring an acoustic guitar and fly to Florida.
We will get to Florida someday.
Also shout out Elle, who comes to see us every time we're on tour. She came to Pittsburgh this time.
Also, shout out Commercial Tire. Thanks for almost killing us.
Yeah, Commercial Tire. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean they paid for everything.
That's
eventually.
Not my trauma.
But
they didn't do it out of the goodness of their heart.
No.
That's insane.
Yeah. Sorry, just like our EP, we have a lot of heavy stories.
Dude.
I'm here for it.
We're trying to get all our emotions out, and we just keep getting piled on new stuff.
Except for, I will say, if you're going to be stranded in a city, Baton Rouge is a good place to eat for 5 days.
That's fair. I had, it's been a while, but I had Swiss Army Wife.
We played in Oregon.
And they were telling me the story about when they broke down, I think somewhere in Utah. Like, it basically ruined their, first tour, and they were stuck in, this weird,
I remember that.
weird town for, 5 days.
Yeah.
And, they were just eating, from the casino, I guess. Or, it was just, shitty food because there was, nothing in this town.
Yeah.
So at least you had Baton Rouge.
I wore a Swiss Army Wife shirt on the first day of tour. That was Power Chord Fest.
Good dudes.
Good dudes. We had the opposite.
They're like, I don't know if I want to leave.
We're fine being stranded here. Every day we're trying something new and it's incredible. So.
If you've never heard of Pastalaya, I highly suggest.
Pastalaya.
Yep.
Very good.
But I wanted to talk about a couple moments in the EP that I really loved.
Sure.
One, and I loved getting to hear it live too, but it's in Selfish. When you kind of do that whole, when you say, I have it in my notes, so I'm not off the top of the dome. You never care who you, and then you kind of bring it down to quiet and say hurt. Hearing that in the record when I first heard it, I was like, oh, I live for that shit because no one really, you don't hear it too often, and when it's done really well, just those little things just geek me out, and I loved that and seeing it live.
Did we make that in the studio, or was I don't know if it was exactly like that. Or...
No, Corey had that the whole
time.
Because we did the changeover. That's what when Chris, I was like, okay, I'll just come in with you for the dun dun dun, and then I'll stop and I'll come back and slap.
Oh, and I do the
because he does the 3 hits after.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, that just made sense to me. I guess I liked how it sounded.
It's it's that intimacy, right after that kind of anger, you know.
Corey's very good with dynamics.
Yes.
That's one of his favorite things. Is
I don't know what that is.
he likes a big moment that leads to a soft moment, or a soft moment that will get you to So he's very good at that.
We just write the song,
Dude, honestly, he's a natural. He's he's an actor who's I don't know what that means. I'm well, you're doing it. I'll say a musical term. He's I don't know what that is. He's just doing it naturally.
No, it sucks because they're oh yeah, there's this scale or this note or chord. I'm I just put my hand here. This is home right now. This feels good.
It just does it naturally. Fuck, it's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. I rely a lot on my ears. If I hear something okay, I like that, I'm gonna play to that guy. But
he's got really good instincts. That's the most important part. Yeah.
I'd really need to learn how to play guitar for real.
But I'm glad you like that part. I really like that part too.
Yeah. My Selfish has my favorite piece of music we've ever written, which is that bridge with all the tapping that Jess does.
Oh yeah.
The slide taps or something.
Yeah, so you never liked who I was, then it goes into the book. Yeah, it was Jess we were in practice, and he was like, "Well, what do you think of something like this?" I was like, "You mean the coolest thing I've ever heard?" What if we did that?
Yeah, I'm like, and then I was like, okay, but then you should do a drum fill here to match me when I'm doing the little.
I was like, if you insist. Yeah.
Worked out pretty good.
And I was like, and I could just keep doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Yeah, that song is super fun. I really like that song.
I can't remember everything because Fred did have some input, and because he produced it, so he had some. He's a very good songwriter, obviously.
Yeah.
And he had some. So I don't remember everything that that we had taken in, and what was Fred, but Fred didn't change a whole lot wholesale.
Yeah.
It was more just tweaking.
Tighten shit up here.
You should only do this twice, or
Well, and he would that part that Chris likes was different, a little bit, and it was because of how I wanted to play it, because I think we played it one extra measure. And Fred is like, no, just cut it short one. And I was like, okay. So, because before there was just nothing, and then I'd start singing, because I tend to do that, where I'll just I just want to play my guitar for a minute. But he's really good at bringing out the best songwriter in you. He never changes the songs or makes it what he would make. He just pushes you to make what you're already making in a better way, which.
He will tell you stuff you don't want to hear, though, where you're he's like, I know you like this musical part, but it doesn't need to go this long, or But
want it.
But
And then you play it his way, and you're like, okay, that's
good.
Good.
And then you look, and then you look at the gold record on his wall, and you're like, God damn it,
Is it still gold, or is it platinum this year?
Yeah, it might be platinum.
Now. Damn.
Yeah, that was a wild experience, walking into a studio and seeing a couple gold Taking Back Sunday records on the wall.
I actually, on this tour, I got the memory on my Instagram or Facebook, and it's a picture of that gold record, because I'm sitting on the couch, and it just all caps says, "Stop staring at me."
But
yeah. No, he's also one of the nicest people in the world.
That's what's crazy.
It doesn't make any sense. He doesn't have an ego. He doesn't he's just the nicest guy. Then I can't say enough good things about him. I don't want to sit here and
he would come up. He would come in his minivan every morning from our hotel.
What's up, bro?
We're just Coach is I just live every day for my what's up, bros.
When we went home, we were all depressed because we don't get any more what's up, bros. Yeah.
So we had a hotel, and I was sitting in the couch on purpose, waiting for the three of them to come in, Max, Jess, and Chris, and then they come in. I'm trying to look like I'm pouting. What's going on? I'm I don't know, dude. I think I just need my morning what's up, bro. But I don't want to sit here and just talk about how great Fred is, but
but we could.
The best people.
We'll say that for the Patreon version.
Sure.
But
are there any more questions about the EP? Sorry, we're no. Let's know if
you're fine. I forgot to mention earlier that I'm fine with tangents.
Okay.
Because it really shows people who's behind the music.
Sure.
Well, we're yappers.
We are yappers. Just let us know. I'll give us one of these, if you need us to move on or whatever.
One other thing, for people that have checked out a lot of these episodes that everyone knows I really love is sound clips in records and stuff like that. I know this EP has two that I'm aware of. One that starts the record, which I finally got to hear. I couldn't make it out on the plane, but I heard it on the drive home from the show.
Oh, cool.
Talking about the radio clips?
Yeah. The one that starts the record that it's
for tailpipes,
for tailpipes, that is kind of let's go, or
this is where it begins.
That kind of starts it. That one I didn't hear earlier, but then the one that you guys started the show with, that's also at the end of
Barkley.
Reunion Blues.
Yeah, beginning of Barkley, end of Reunion Blues.
What is that clip, and what's it from?
So I don't when I'm in my truck sometimes I'll just okay, firstly I'm not religious at all. I grew up kind of Catholic, so it's something I now stay very far away from, but I'll listen to religious radio sometimes and just record it because I think it's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
That wasn't from your amp?
No, that was the first one. That's from
the first one.
That's from my amp. I'm on the fucking record.
So, So I have I just would save different clips, and one of those is from I had found this old video at one point, so I was going down a rabbit hole, and it was just crazy Midwest towns and things that the church sermons would play, and one of the times a guy steps up and says all of that stuff, and then in that same town, another guy like was doing like just this whole thing, and he kept saying, "And the Holy Mother, and the Holy Mother," and then he'd keep like, and so like I took those clips and kind of just put them together, and I sent them to the engineer Steve. I was like, "Hey, can we put these in the song? Like, I feel like these fit really well, and like that, like when he says his minister said that any peace of mind he finds outside of the church is the work of the devil," just reminded me so much of like the religious people I've always been surrounded with, and so I was like, that's kind of part of the trauma of this album. Right? So I was like, all right, here goes. So,
just religious like talk radio and stuff like that.
Well, like I mean, my whole life I've kind of had this like weird demon depression thing floating around with me, and like the people in my life that I would talk to about it would always just dismiss it or tell me it wasn't a big deal or to get over it, and I was like, I wish I could, but it's there. So like hearing that he took an overdose of sleeping pills and like to find a peace of mind, I was like, yeah, okay, that's checks out, dude. Yeah. So I just was able to. I'm glad it worked out and it fit with the songs. But
what's wild is some of it is just random stuff that came through an amp.
Yes.
For the first clip.
The first clip.
Yeah. First clip.
So the first clip is through his amp and then a reverse pedal or something.
Yeah, we were just like messing around.
Oh, yeah, that was a lemon wish.
Is that our other band stuff? And you're just like
turn on your fuzz pedal and boost your signal.
And then I did like, so they played the first thing and it's that chorus singing, and then it's them singing backwards, and then this is where it begins. Yeah. And when they sent it to me, I was like, that's on the record. Yeah. I was like, that's sick. And then so we actually got the first recording of Tailpipes Back, and I was like, oh crap, we can't use this master. And so I was like, Jess, send me that thing. And then I sent it out to Steve. I was like, can you put this in front of the song? And he's like, yeah, give me a minute. So
we come like when we grew up with like hardcore bands and stuff like that.
Sound clips.
Like they loved sound clips. Like one of our favorite bands, Shai Halud, just loved to put sound clips and stuff. And so we're like, dude, let's just throw some in there. We just like throwbacky. It felt kind of throwbacky, but like I don't know, just something that we enjoy a lot. So
we didn't want to do like movie sound clips that like
something a little more personal.
But the weird like religious radio kind of fits the theme of the EP.
Like especially like we talked about with the theming and like some of the heavy context in there. I was like, yeah, this is kind of it. Like I don't know, I mostly try to keep the religious stuff like just to like little moments in records and never talk about it, but like this one just felt like it needed it, so
like I love all styles of sound clips. Like obviously we have the ones that people will do where like they'll add in movies or like funny bits, which don't get me wrong are amazing, but then when you have a record that also adds in a sound clip that like ties into the specific mood, it takes it to a whole other level. Two that always come to mind is I think it's, I'm gonna butcher the name, but it's St. Judas Bioluminescent something, I'm forgetting the second word, but they have like a BoJack Horseman clip in the in the middle,
nice,
and it works fucking perfectly. And then Seymour Glass from Ohio, they just put out a record last year, but they also have like a preacher talking, and he ripped his from like he found like a random record at a store that was like preachers like giving sermons, and like ripped a song from that and added it into one of his songs. Like that shit just hits.
That's awesome.
You just start to feel like the emotions like right away.
One of my favorites, there's a band called Anamanaguchi. They're like kind of like a chiptune / like pop punk band. But they do at the end of one of their records, they do like a clip from one of their shows, and it's a guy doing like a poetry reading kind of stuff like that. So it's like directly connected to what they're doing and stuff like that. And it's like really wholesome and heartwarming, and like I'm like, dude, it's awesome when you can like just like it's at the very end of the record, so it's just like doing this like outro while this guy's talking, and it's just like it's perfectly matches with what the feeling they're going for. So as long as like the clip just like has the same energy, same like vibe as what you're playing, then I really enjoy it.
The one that comes through the amp is like special to me, like because like anybody can look up anything and be like,
this will fit
or whatever. But the one that came through the amp is like that was a moment.
Yeah, me and Eric were just messing around.
That was like a moment. Yeah.
You boost the signal on any amp, it's always a religious fucking station. I don't know why.
But like,
amp I've had.
To be able to capture this is where it begins. Like,
we just like stopped the reverse pedal at the right exact time.
That's insane. And that's a moment. That's a moment that belongs to us.
Yes.
Like I don't know, that feels so much different.
And as this is like clicking on my brain, and just for people that might not be fully getting this, you just boosted the signal of your amp, and you're literally picking up like a radio station.
Yeah.
Through the tubes of it, of the
Okay.
amp. Yeah, because like
so-
amps have tubes in them, and they'll sometimes pick up radios.
Okay. Obviously, I don't play guitar, like know all that stuff. So like that's
No,
what, like,
you're
like I
good.
wanted to make sure, like, because I thought it was just like you boosted your amp to just play like a recording through,
No.
but to
No.
pick something up
It
randomly.
picks it
and-
up.
and just like that
The
click
thing
perfect.
the thing you hear before tailpipes on the EP, like to start the entire EP, is
A random radio signal.
That's
Yeah.
fucking nuts.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
were just like playing around with this. He had a reverse pedal hooked up,
Yeah.
and so we were just like pushing it at random times and let it go, and then we'll stop it, and then like
and
let
they
it
just
go.
happen to hear that this is where it begins.
Yeah,
And
that
that
was all
starts.
Jess, because I've done that so much and just not record it. Just I do it as
Yeah.
practice just to like,
Yeah.
shits and giggles.
But I was like, dude, let's
wait.
record this. This sounds sick.
Yeah.
And, like we could use
Well,
this.
and we had been recording like weird because we would get stuff we had the same practice space we shared with his band, and so like we would get weird stuff when we record like a couple things, but we never got anything that good. So like
Yeah.
when they got it, I was like, yeah, okay, that's
yeah,
That
yeah,
and to me, that feels more special than like
yeah.
just combing through stuff.
Sure,
and, like,
sure. No, I agree. It was,
Yeah.
it was a really cool moment.
well, like that, yeah, and like that was. I mean, like you said, that's probably my favorite thing that's ever happened as far as like goes. Our last practice before we left, every time I turn on my boost pedal, we would get religious radio. So like in between the songs we were practicing, I was like, I'm just gonna let this play.
Yeah.
It feels right at home.
Yeah.
So, but
If any of you have an amp out there with tubes in it, you can pick up crazy stuff and put some crazy effects on it and get some cool clips out of it, probably for a record.
It's my favorite part because I can say I'm on the record.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
the last soundbite thing on the record is just me getting out of my truck after a bad day.
Yeah.
And it's just the doors open, so you just hear dee, dee, dee.
Okay.
But, yeah, just stupid.
Yeah,
Just we were just doing a bunch like I said, I used to just always have my phone recording random stuff. I was like, we'll see what happens. But
Yeah. I mean, that's how you get the best
Yeah.
stuff. One thing I did want to talk about too tonight is obviously you guys are from Boise in Idaho, which
Yeah.
you know for a lot of as a Midwesterner, you know we're flyover states.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, shout out flyover states. By the way.
Yeah.
But like, what's the scene like in Idaho or Boise in general?
Hardcore
Dude, it's
indie.
so weird. Like, so it shifts every few years. Like, it'll go hard. It goes hard in certain directions, like every few years. Like, it just goes through cycles.
Yeah.
And right now, like, it's
Hardcore.
big hardcore scene,
But then there's Tree Fort.
and then
Which
Tree
is
Fort.
super indie
So it's a
scene.
lot of big indie scene, big hardcore scene right now.
I think we're one of 3 emo bands in
Yeah,
Boise.
there's only like 3 emo bands in Boise, so it's a little rough. It's like why we like to tour so much. Is like we can go out and like kind of like go into bigger scenes and stuff like that, scenes that are like a little more robust and stuff like that. But also we do try and foster something in Boise, but it's like
Yeah.
it's rough right now for.
I mean, for reference, like, this is what Tree Fort was this, like 10 or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
And like the Hot Mulligan played this Tree Fort.
Okay.
And that it was like the first time I ever remember a big emo band.
American
playing,
Football
like-
and Tiger Shop played.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
even
right.
IU.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's
That
right.
Every once in a while they'll get a bigger band to play, but overall
Yeah.
it's like it's not a huge emo place.
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah.
if you do hardcore, popping off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of good
Yeah.
hardcore bands.
I think-
A lot of country and bluegrass, like folk
yeah,
stuff
lots
too.
of country and folk too.
All that being said, there's some great promoters in
Yeah.
Boise, like Underdogs. In Boise, they're great at DIY. Until recently, there was Boise Trans Collective, which they were amazing promoters, DIY promoters, and helping the trans community because it's rough for the trans community in Boise right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
In Idaho, because Idaho is a deep red state.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think Boise Trans Collective, the primary people are moving, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so
this is unfortunate, but yeah. So, but yeah, we've got good promoters. Venue-wise, man.
struggling for venues.
Yeah, COVID closed a lot of the venues, so we're trying to rebuild it. But now it's like everything, which is a good thing. Like the good thing is that like there are shows going on all the time. There's
Yeah.
like always shows. Everything's booked up almost all the time. So like it's hard to get book one of the venues, but yeah, like at least they're all like doing stuff. Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
That's it.
I will say that about Tree Fort there. Like with the crowds that I expect, like indie crowds and hardcore crowds, like people still show up for us. So thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So people, I mean,
Yeah.
people are still interested in emo. It's just like not the biggest scene right now. Hopefully, we can build into something more. We're trying to build
Yeah.
something.
I mean, the Pacific Northwest in general has always been not that like.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss.
Yeah.
So emo just goes in waves too.
Yeah, Midwest right now is popping off.
Yeah, when we tour the Midwest, it's like
yeah,
so much different than yeah. But
yeah.
Well, bands, if you're trying to tour, hit up Boise, go through.
Yes, we'll try and we'll try and build something for you guys. We'll at least give you a hot meal or something like that, and some drinks.
It at least breaks up the drive for anyone that's like heading to
absolutely.
Oregon or something, like, because I never went out that far. The first we ever went was like South Dakota, and like even just going Iowa to South Dakota, that's still fucking a boring ass drive. So at least you hit up Boise, or like that'll get you through Montana, and then you can do something.
Yeah. And there's two other. There's a couple other good bands. I'm sure we can build something for you guys if you're coming through.
we're about to do the because tomorrow we play Des Moines.
Yeah.
And after that is Denver, and then we're driving Denver to home on Sunday, so that's a 12-hour straight.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
On a good day.
I think we've done a few long drives, but I think the most boring drive we ever did was Wyoming through Nebraska into Kansas, which is just prairie of nothing.
Yeah.
That was a long fucking day.
You said Wyoming, and I was like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know we're getting antsy. We'll start telling some stories here in a second. But
Sure.
No,
you're good.
No.
Yeah, we're chilling.
I know. I'm just rocking this through. But I want to make sure like I don't miss anything on this record or anything with Winter Forever.
Please.
Is there anything that I might have missed that you want the people to know about between the record or the band itself?
I don't know about the record.
Listen to it.
Anytime someone messages us about the record, it means the world to us. So if you ever listen to it and you're like, I want to reach out to them, or like, but they won't care or something like that. Dude, it means so much when people are like,
we respond to literally every message.
we respond to every message. We're like, this song means a lot. This lyric means a lot. Like, we really enjoy that when people like reach out to us about that kind of stuff. It means the world to us. So.
If we or a band similar size to us are coming through your city, please come to the show. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
That really like does more because streaming is such dog shit as far as like the actual money you make or whatever.
For sure. Yeah. But
coming to a show like when a band comes through your town really does the most like practical. Good for
But like if there's no shows like by your town, like if you anytime you're like feeling like, hey, this song means a lot to me. Even if it's not us, even if it's another band, just like reach out and like tell them that it means something because I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
And if they're jerks to you, tell us and we'll yell at them.
I don't know if I have a whole lot to say. Just if you listen to it, thank you. I appreciate
thank you so much.
It means the world. So
and
keep watching Beers with Bands.
This has been fun so far, man. It's been a lot of good time.
And I know, Eric, we've been having you kind of quiet this time, just because obviously you're not on the new record, and you are.
Don't talk to him.
I'm sorry.
You keep bullying Eric. Yeah, God, dude.
At least let him have a night off.
Yeah. I don't deserve it. I deserve a night off.
Guys, I love Eric. I'm just joking. Yeah.
I am very stoked to see like what it is with the five of you on the next stuff, which might talk about something here coming up. But like, what was it like to? Obviously, you've been friends with these guys for a while, and being brought in. Like, what was it like to be brought in, and then like you getting to experience this record as a fan, and then being brought in?
I mean, it was the first time I heard Tailpipes live. Actually, it was on my birthday. We went out that night.
That's right.
So that was. I fucking love that song. That was the first song, and then we did a Taking Back Sunday cover set, and Jess was like, "Hey, we might need you to play guitar for this, because Corey doesn't want to, or didn't. I don't know what. He's scheming. I don't know, maybe." So then we were at practice for that one night, and he showed me Soft Teeth, and I was just like, "Holy fuck, this is such a good fucking song!" Like, and then he just kept sending me shit. It was just like overall, like, holy fuck, because like Levitas was really good. And I like it a lot, but it was a little bit overwhelming for me. I think at the time I was going through shit. But just hearing that and being like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. And then just practicing with them for Taking Back Sunday, I was like, fuck, I'm going to miss this, dude. Like,
we have great chemistry, I think.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck,
We were
Corey's
thinking
like,
about it.
yeah,
We
yeah.
were like, well, you don't have to miss it.
But it was, yeah. I don't know.
I asked him to join the band 2 years earlier at a
Yeah,
Christmas
you did.
party, and he ghosted me, dude.
Eric was a little iffy about touring. He didn't
Yeah,
know if he was gonna like touring or not.
But it's been good so far. It's been cool. I've
good.
realized I'm a little bit more resilient than I thought. But
We also tour pretty. We have it dialed. Like
Loves,
yeah.
dude. Shout out Loves.
Yeah.
I love
Loves, give us we'll spot like
Yeah, shit. You don't have to give us anything.
Don't say
man.
anything. Don't say anything. Because if we do a rip-off shirt, they can't know about it.
Yeah.
Well, if you make like under $1,000, it's not worth.
Yeah, we're
them to
chilling.
like do anything.
Oh, that's just
That they
pop
know
off.
of.
We're gonna be making
Yeah.
more than $1,000.
we sleep at a Loves almost every night. There.
Dude, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
It's good. But no, I don't know. That was such an overwhelmingly good record. I feel like the EP is so fucking good.
Every
And
single
so-
one of us loved Eric, and so like before even the Taking Back Sunday cover set we did, we had a meeting where like,
Yeah, Chris was pushing for me.
well, because
So was Corey.
Whippin' Shitties ended, and I was like, I want Eric to be doing something, and me and Corey had talked, and I think Jess and Corey had talked separately, and we were like, we all love Eric, like why doesn't he just join the band? And I think Eric was worried that we wouldn't have enough. He was worried about because on
What am I gonna
Levitas.
add? Like,
Well,
what
because
am I
on
gonna add to
Levitas,
this
there's
fucking
not like
record?
actual 3 guitar parts on most of the stuff, but on like we said on the new EP, there's actually a ton of parts where Corey and Jess wrote 3 guitar parts. So we were like, dude, you won't be like you're not going to be out of place. There's going to be stuff for you to play.
Right.
So
I just did what Jess does, but us worse. So I was like, I don't know.
No, he's so full, man. Eric is so good, man. It's
Yeah.
great having him. So yeah, it's just great having
But
him. on the
no,
band.
so when people like compliment the songs, like you were complimenting the songs, I just like want to nod and like, no, I can't nod. I'm gonna look like a dickhead. Like, yeah, these songs are fucking amazing.
People don't know, so
Yeah.
you're fine.
So
You're like, yeah,
I didn't write
I did
these
it all.
songs. I just heard them and I was like, holy shit! Like these guys are so fucking good. I'm so proud of my friends. And, like, damn, thank you for even wanting me. I've said it a couple times. Be like, thanks for
Dude,
bringing me on tour, guys.
Like I said, you're talented and like you have a different approach to songwriting than anybody else in the band. So like it made sense to me early on. I was like, he writes guitar differently than everybody.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna bring that extra perspective that can add something, special to these. And so
I'm
far
gonna
he's
play
not
a slightly
disappointed.
different Telecaster. That's the difference.
Yeah, so we all play slightly different Telecasters.
Yeah, we are a Telecaster band.
Yeah.
But-
Of course, we're an emo band.
But
Yeah, we are.
but for real, like you do. You have like you both tap, but you do it in different ways, and it's really really cool. So it's fun to be able to put those together. And like I said, it just made sense. So I'm glad you're here.
And like I said, with this, I don't know if it'll even see the light of day. I don't know if you edit this stuff. That's fine. But yeah, Jess and I just doing like a different project like taught me a lot, and like how I want things to sound too. So I don't know. I'm excited to.
he passes the most important check, which is the vibe check. So
Yeah.
we love Eric.
We love
so,
Eric.
Yeah.
It's good.
This is weird, man. I'm the little brother of this band, so I know this.
We do-
Compliments are like, what the fuck?
I do treat him like a little brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't say we.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't say we.
I was like,
I think you all treat me a little bit like a little brother.
But in a
But-
good way, because I'm nice. No, I was just saying, we were talking earlier tonight about like, because Corey on stage was like, one of us is the mean one.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, it's probably me. I'm probably the mean one.
So the crowd all thought it was you.
yeah.
Yeah, apparently
funny.
drummers.
Yeah.
Apparently people have bias against drummers.
He's
Also,
the
I
fucking
look
nicest.
a certain way too.
Yeah.
Like
He's
I
the
think,
nicest
but-
in the band.
You
Like,
got RJF resting jerkface.
Yeah.
No, he's
I
he's
have resting Republican
he
face.
is checking.
white guys Rhino. I already have you pegged.
Yeah. Like whenever they talk about like when random dudes just like assume they're like racist or whatever.
Oh, I
it's
get,
just not how
I
they
get that
look.
fucking shit all the time.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh yeah, don't you love what Trump's doing?" I'm like, "Fuck off! Stop talking to me." Yeah.
This will clear the record. I'm really really happy.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Before we start to transition,
Sure.
with this EP, obviously there's a vinyl version of Levitas that people should be going to get. But is there a plan for a physical release for the EP? Whether it's tape, vinyl, CD, whatever.
We haven't really decided.
We
yet.
haven't decided
It's-
yet.
It's so tough to like gauge whether that would like be something people want or not. It just I mean, we've been selling merch for a couple of years now, and we're basically glorified t-shirt salesmen now. So that's like if I had to make a resume, that's probably what it was. But yeah, like I mean,
if we did do it, it'd probably be like a pre-order thing where we knew how many.
Let's just say this: if y'all watch this episode, you want vinyl, just send us a message. Tell us. Like, let us know.
The thing is with merch is like you never know what's gonna sell.
Right.
Like the thing you never expected would sell just like blows up and then like
it's different areas too. Like
exactly.
Like Max, our bass player, we all picked our color of our own shirts because we did tarot card shirts, and everywhere we went, he had this like terracotta like salmon colored shirt, and it wouldn't sell. We go to Texas, and just everybody wants that shirt. I don't know why. Just Texas loves that color. So we sold like 30 of that shirt when I was like, holy crap. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, we would love to. Because like, I would love to have it on vinyl.
Yeah.
Because I think it's so great. And like listening to something on a fucking record player just sounds
it's it's an experience. It's not just like listening. Like you're doing something that like you're actually taking time out of your day to put something on and sit and listen. So for me, like vinyl is like that experience where I'm sitting down and laying down and listening to music. It's not background noise. It's literally, this is my activity. So like I focus more on it and I get like that experience, that joy, and I get to hear every single thing they're trying to do. So like if people want that, then hell yeah, like let us know. Cause
from a business side, we'd love to do it. It'd probably be a pre-order thing or something
vinyl is expensive, especially in this day and age, especially after like the Taylor Swift thing where she like
dude right
dude, we got in for Levitas right before she did that.
Was it Taylor Swift or Adele?
I think they
both. It was Adele and then Taylor Swift after.
Jesus.
But they just like bought up every vinyl.
To be fair, it might not have been
order.
It was probably their people.
Yeah,
sure. No, I'm not blaming them or anything like that. But it's just there's a very limited amount of people that do vinyl. Like, I don't know if people know anything about
which has been nice. Like the nice part about that is like you starting to see like these smaller, more DIY places pop up. I think here in Minneapolis we have like a spot that some of the local people like bands have gone through.
Dude, that's
and
awesome.
like I was talking to a band recently, actually, an Unstable Shapes episode that came out probably the week before this one. Times of Construct, so like when this one comes out, whatever. But like they like went to the plant and they got like a tour and like got to keep like a puck of like the stuff that they was theirs. Yeah.
Dude,
Fred, Fred from Heading East, he does. They do all the vinyl in Coatesville.
He works with somebody over there.
And he gets to he goes to the plant and like actually helps them press the vinyl and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, that's very sick.
Yeah. So we would get a discount on it. It's just we would need to know people wanted it.
Exactly.
Because it's a big financial commitment.
It's might be a weird like length. I know that plays into it because
5 songs.
Yeah, like because like what a 7-inch I think is like 12 minutes each side, and then like a 12-inch is like I don't know 20-something minutes each side. Like there's time, so it's
it might be
a
big
weird
toss-up.
Yeah.
I know like the Place for Owls dudes. They just did that split with Birthday Dad.
Oh, nice.
And they did a 12-inch. It's 4 songs, but on the back side they like did like a silk screen like image, so like you can kind of like it doesn't like waste a side. You
that's cool.
Yeah,
that'd be smart.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. But yeah, sorry we get too technical or too in depth about like pressing vinyl and stuff like that. But we would love to do a physical release. Like I always love it. I think it looks so cool. It just feels good to put something on a goddamn record player and just play it. It feels great every time.
I think people know though, like people aren't stupid. You know that being in a band is partly a business.
Oh yeah,
and like so it just all comes down to what people actually want.
Where you guys don't make millions of dollars every year.
Surprisingly not.
Yeah.
You know these. My clothes aren't name brand or anything like that. I'm just wearing a Yellowstone. I'm rocking Yellowstone today.
Give me some Levi's jeans.
That's true. I'm rocking Yellowstone. That's my brand.
Moral of the story: everyone that's listening, if you have interest in something, maybe hit them up if they get enough notice and thought about it.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll see it on a record tape or something.
Vote with your dollars. Tell us what you want.
But yeah, we would love to do physical stuff. Well, physical releases are like I'm a huge proponent of physical media.
Yeah, it's cool to have, and like I mean, you guys saw all my tapes, and they're like, I don't even have a tape player.
Yeah.
I just, like, bands that aren't doing vinyl, which totally understandable, you know, that shit's expensive.
Yeah.
I'm like, I still want something, because, like, as a big dude, shirts are always weird, so I'm like, there's something I can get that'll, like, still support, like, I'll fucking grab it.
It's just those, like, little mementos that, like, I don't know, I'm a very, like, I have got collection to items. So like I'll like pick up something. I'm like, oh yeah, this was that time I did this, or like, oh, it was this band, or was it that night. So I love having a little physical thing, a touchdown.
I'm so fucking opposite. stuff is just.
He doesn't actually have emotion.
It's cool to have physical stuff like to show your kids, like, hey, this is what I did. Like,
I would fucking lose it. That's the problem with me is
just like into the ether.
Yeah, no, you give me something like I genuinely am like, oh, this is awesome, and then I set it down somewhere and never see it again. Yeah,
that's probably because your kids are young though. It might stop when they get older.
I think it's me. I can't blame my kids for this one. My wife she'll be like, I thought you said this was really cool and important. You left it like on the ground, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is cool and important. Like,
gosh.
Yeah.
No, vinyl's cool though.
Yeah.
Like I have the test presses from Levitas, so we got 5. So.
Yeah, I've got mine too somewhere.
He doesn't. No. I have 2, so when he inevitably doesn't find it, I'll be able to give it.
Yeah, you should probably just hold on to it.
I said that to be nice. I was
yeah.
No, I'll probably. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll give it to somebody. Like, just be like, yo, here. I mean, send it to Kier. I don't know. Somebody will get it.
Well, everyone, go listen to Home Feels Like a Luxury Hotel. Like I said, it's amazing. Obviously, the cover of that is also taken at a hotel. Which hotel was that, and why did you choose that specific picture?
So, our bassist Max and I went around one morning. We woke up early. We went to all these hotels. And actually, the Reunion Blues single is a different hotel from Boise. So we were just going through Boise, and we go, like, talk to the front desk, be like, yo, can we take some photos? And, like, one of them, I'm not going to name names, but one of them was like, fuck no. Like, who are you guys? We're like, all right, bye. But the Avery was kind enough to let us go upstairs and take a photo in their hotel hall. And, like, we were going through all the photos, kind of picking as a band, and like, we all had different ideas, but Jess was like, I like this one. And, like, it made sense because, like, that hallway has the look of a hotel, but that front room looks like somewhere you'd live. And, like, the whole album is about, like, coming home to a place that never really felt like home. It just feels like you're skating by, living in somewhere you don't belong. So, like, I don't know, like, coming home, doing routine stuff, leaving, and then coming home to, like, the same room, like, I don't know. It's always just felt like living in a hotel. So
like, it looks nice. It on the facade feels homey, but actually.
But I mean, after enough time, like, you don't want to be in a hotel anymore.
Yeah.
But, like, growing up, that's how, like, I mean, my family is very clean, like, and, like, a lot of times nobody was there. So, like, come home, house is spotless again, nobody's there. I'm like, cool. Go back upstairs, do the same thing again, and this was for years. So when we got to, like, finally write the song for that Reunion Blues, I was like, okay, I kind of already, like, I went in after we wrote that song knowing the title for the EP before we even started, you know, finishing it, and I was like, I already know what this is going to be. So
yeah,
but yeah, that was a cool photo. And, like, I mean, Max just decided one day, he's like, I think I'm gonna buy a camera, and then we were like, okay, and then he's just like, let's go take photos. We're like, okay, so we went, and yeah, Avery Hotel. Riverside Hotel is the Reunion Blues cover.
Did somebody tell you not to do it at the Riverside?
No.
Oh, okay, I was like, you're gonna have to tell me because I knew somebody who worked there.
No, it was a different hotel in downtown Boise.
Okay.
But yeah, we walked in, and, like, they were immediately at the door, like, what are you guys doing? I was like, apparently nothing. Chill, dog. I don't know.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I just love that. It's just such a good concept that people can relate to, of, like, you live in this space, but it doesn't feel like your space to use. Like, you're just a temporary resident.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. And, yeah. I had things like that growing up where, you know, yeah, you just don't feel like a space is totally yours, and
somewhere you don't really belong.
And a hotel is a great like encapsulation of that, because for a night you might have paid to use it, but you in the back of your head you're always like, well, this isn't actually my space.
You're always a visitor.
Yeah, exactly. So
the one in Pennsylvania, I didn't even want to be a visitor.
Oh man, we're gonna get into all.
No,
the
that's okay.
stories.
This is the part where we, break that seal. We start talking about some fun stories.
Okay.
Obviously, like I said, everyone go listen to the new EP. It is amazing. We'll talk links and everything here in a little bit.
Cool.
But obviously we're all loose. We had saw a sick show of yours. We've had some good old beers tonight.
yeah, I'm feeling good.
Some LaCroix.
No, this beer.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But this is where we kind of talk about some fun stories from guys' time in the band, whether it's shows, tours, time recording. Obviously, they can be anything horrendous to tremendous or any adjective in between.
We got it all.
We got it all. We've been touring for a while, so
Yeah.
we got plenty of stories. But yeah, the hotel we stayed in this tour, like we usually actually get like halfway through the tour, we'll like get a hotel. We're like, okay, we're done sleeping in the bus for a bit. We just want to have like spread out and like take showers.
The sleeping in the bus allows us to tour and actually make money.
Yeah,
because
pay for a hotel every night.
another behind the scenes making how the sausage is made is for when you're a band our size. If you were paying for a hotel every night, you're not making any money on tour.
Yeah.
So we converted the bus that we use specifically to be able to we sleep in a truck stop.
Yeah.
And then if someone feels like they're getting too nasty, you pay for a shower at the truck stop. And, but halfway through this tour, we had just played Heading East Fest, and we were like, okay, the band can buy a hotel room for the night.
Yeah.
And we picked this hotel in...
it's like just like a suburb.
Dude,
unassuming.
It had 7 out of 10 stars.
Yeah, we're like, that should be good enough.
Seems super safe.
Yeah.
We get there.
There's a Wawa across the street. Like
Wawa supremacy.
we're killing it. Like we're like, okay, this
Wawa.
is the spot. But yeah, we get to this and just like weird things just keep happening. It's just like a suburb of Philly.
Yeah. So first, the room is like not really how it was advertised. The TV doesn't get really
doesn't have the Wi-Fi it was sent to have.
Yeah.
The chair had everyone who signed the Constitution on it, just like printed on it.
Oh yeah. Well, so this is right outside Philly, so that whole thing is like
tourism.
The Liberty Hall thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Even the lobby of the hotel was everything was Constitution themed.
It's really weird.
Or Declaration of Independence themed. Yeah. So Jess stays in the room and us three go to Wawa, and when we come back there's a car parked next to our bus that has all these scriptures, the car is wrapped in scriptures. And I was like, oh, that's weird people. So
and Chris was like, I couldn't imagine having the balls to do that.
I was like, man, that's anyway, so we're waiting for the elevator, and these people just start
they let us in first. It seems so normal.
Because we had to get in the side door of the hotel, and our key wasn't working.
Okay. And we're like, we have a key. We promise. We trust you guys. You seem normal.
So they let us in,
and that was it. No, you guys are fine. You're normal.
And then a second later,
we
just want to let you know Jesus loves you, and
And then they start it almost felt like in a Pentecostal church, because then the lady and the other lady there start yelling stuff after us too.
Oh, one of them was singing like a hymn.
Yeah, and I am the most brave person in the world, so I got in the elevator first.
And so half my family is Southern, and so the Southern politeness in me, I couldn't just ignore them. I had to be like. Until they wouldn't, they never stopped talking.
Yeah,
so Eric and Corey and Eric just get in the elevator, and I'm just like, all right. And then eventually, I'm like, they're never giving me an opportunity to say no thanks. So I just back into the elevator,
and we're hammering the button.
Yeah. Well, later in the night,
no, we get up to the room and the key doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
Eric
Corey
and I
are
had
just
dinner in the hallway.
Because Jess was in the shower, so we didn't hear. So we were just eating Wawa in the fucking
so the
hallway,
key that wouldn't let us into the side door also just didn't work on our room, and I was like, I'll go back down. Well, guess who's at the front desk? And the staff at this hotel was great. And they were like Indian Hindu. They were fantastic. And the Indian lady is being a champ. She is. These people are asking her if she believes in Jesus, and she's like, well, I'm actually from India. I'm Hindu. And she's like, I actually do believe in Jesus. He's one of my like. Yeah. She had a cross on like one of her, but she also had all the other like. And they wouldn't take that for an answer. No, he's the only way. And I was borderline getting ready to be like, guys, you need to like leave her alone. But she was holding her own. She's like, okay, well, that's fine. I don't believe that. That's fine. I'm from India. And so I get back upstairs finally. Yeah. And I'm like, sorry, guys, I ran into them again. Later, Eric and Corey had to go do laundry. And they call me from the elevator, and they're like, this is not okay. Someone had taken their car keys or something and scrawled racial slurs all over the inside of this elevator. Dude. Like,
I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. Yeah. I was like, where are we right now? I thought it was just some like nice small town in Pennsylvania.
Well, then Chris goes back down and talks to the lady up front and brings her and shows it to her. She says, no, that was already there. And then they come upstairs. And I was
like, Corey, you said it was already there.
And then Jess like, I believe her. She said that. I'm like, my brain is telling me that's not true, bud. And so we go back down to do laundry. And I had taken a picture earlier to send to Chris. And we go back down to do laundry. And we go back down. I was like, Eric, this is new, right?
There's more.
And he's like, I don't know, dude. He's like, didn't you take a picture? I was like, yeah. And I pull out the picture. And half of it's not there. I was like, so somebody in this hotel is getting on this elevator.
Every time they get on the elevator, they're scrolling more.
So I'm like,
scary, man.
So I'm like,
remember the screaming lady?
Yeah,
I missed that, dude.
Yeah, you were downstairs doing laundry.
Yeah, fucking doing laundry.
Then a lady was screaming.
We heard a lady screaming in the hallway.
Bloody murder.
I was like, oh, someone's getting murdered.
So I ran out in the hallway.
I'm in my underwear.
I'm the first one in the hallway, and like I said, I'm the most brave person in the world. So I peek my head out. I'm like, everything okay out here?
And I come out in my underwear. I'm like, and then everybody in the hallway is looking, and she's just beating on the door. She was just trying to get her partner's attention, like from what we could tell.
Yeah, it was just weird. I did not expect that from.
Yeah,
no, it was
weird.
It was just a weird experience because like everything was fine. We left after we left, everything was normal, but. Just was not planning on that.
Our one night in the hotel. Our one night, we pay for a hotel, and all this shit goes.
We did get to watch Law and Order till like 1 a.m. So that was good.
That was the one part of the simulation that was working.
Yeah.
Man, it was fucking weird.
That was my least.
I missed the bus actually.
Yeah, that night.
We should have just slept in the fucking bus. This never happens at Love's.
Yeah. Shout out Love's again.
What is my favorite tour story? Or worst tour story?
We already told the deer story.
I mean the ending part of Tailpipes is about the time we were in San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
And we played with Amy from Like Roses. I was driving. At this time, we were driving my Tacoma with a trailer.
Before we got the bus.
And so I was very, very not smart and didn't replace my tires before we left for tour, and they were bald. So when I was trying to go uphill to the Haight-Ashbury, the tallest point in San Francisco, they would just spin.
Oof.
And we were pulling a trailer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to drive up here now. And so like that lyric about bald tires on San Francisco hills, I'm like, that's just that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a very real moment. And I was like, this was stupid. I should have done something differently. But it felt like a metaphor. I was like, really shouldn't have done this, but that's where I'm at right now. So...
At least you learned something from it, right?
No.
Like to check your tires before you leave on tour?
Nah. That's silly. I learned that after a commercial tire almost killed us.
No, you didn't. We didn't check our tire pressure this tour.
We checked if they were on.
Yeah, we checked the lug nuts.
Yeah. Hey, big shout out to Hams. We got Hams. We're in Hams country.
Make sure logo's out.
Yeah. I was mentioning this to you before. One time we were playing a show in San Francisco, and The bar was really cool. There were cool people running it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this cooler is just full of drinks for the bands that are playing." And we open it up, and it's just a cooler filled with hams. And it was like
to the brim.
With hams. And we're like, "All right."
And nobody buying fucking hams in San Francisco. So like, all right, just.
I guess, dude, but it was great.
And the other bands were not drinking.
They were not drinking it, so we're like, "Okay, this is our hams."
Which is crazy because like. You don't think of finding hams in San Francisco?
No.
Let alone a cooler full of it,
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
So, like, I'm from Iowa, which is Busch Light country. Yeah. And I remember one of my friends, they ripped off the Busch Light logo for, like, their band logo. And I had one of their shirts, and I was out visiting friends in San Diego. We went to, like, a brewery, so I wore it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And some guys were like, dude, is that Busch Light? And I was like, how the fuck do you know what Busch Light is? Like, you live in California, like, not a knock against California, but, like, we're at a brewery. Yeah. Like, what do you, like,
hey.
And not,
hey, there's stepdads everywhere.
Yeah.
These guys were definitely not.
Did they have stepdads?
Yeah, they might have. They definitely had rich dads.
Stepdads is Busch Light is stepdad language. Yeah.
But yeah, we love it. Dude, regional beers, just like catching them out in the wild, like somewhere else, is so funny. Yeah, it's so great.
Yet to see a Yingling.
We need to get more Yingling out west.
Normal was they just got on normal.
Yeah, that's true.
They're making their way.
They're making their way.
Yeah, because for the longest time they weren't. Like, they wouldn't go, like, east of Pennsylvania for Yinglings.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then, like, because I remember, I think me and a buddy had a road trip out to the East Coast one time, and his stepdad was like, if you're going through here, just pick me up a couple cases of Yingling. And we're like, all right. But I've been talking to a few different bands. Like, I was talking to a band from Florida not that long ago, and they were like, oh yeah, Yingling's our favorite beer, and I was like, you guys live in Florida. How do you?
Yeah, exactly.
They slowly making its way.
What town was it where we had the $3
normal?
Oh
Bloomington, normal.
So yeah, our show in Bloomington normal, and then where ISU is, we went. Everybody was recommending this bar. And we saw why, because
they have 22-ounce Yinglings for $3.
And then they're in the chilled like
big
mugs.
Yeah.
I was like, I drank the whole thing. I was like, this is a problem.
Yeah. It's like, dude, if I lived here, I would be.
I'd be here every night.
But yeah, we love trying out the regional beers and shit like that whenever we're on
I haven't had Yingling since I lived in Florida, so like when we got here, I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited. When they told us they had it at our normal show, I was like, what bar is it?
So, how far away?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's very nice.
But
Eric doesn't drink, so he just watched us.
he takes the photos.
Yeah.
No, that's right. No, my favorite regional beer is Rainier.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest, baby.
Pacific Northwest.
Let's do it. Thanks, Seattle.
I'm a Coors Light.
Yeah.
Also a stepdad beer.
I'm a snobby craft beer guy. Yeah, I know. Everybody can hate.
Yeah.
I wish I liked it. He's always like, dude, taste this IPA. And I'm like, it tastes like piss. Like,
yes, my dude.
No, I love
I like it when a beer makes my mouth hurt. That's like, ooh, that means it's good.
That's his selling point to me, is like, doesn't it make your mouth like... I'm like,
I think, like, as I've grown older, I like enjoy bitter flavors more and more as I get older.
See, I had the opposite, dude. When we were younger, like I was 21, I was like, give me the grossest IPA you've got, and then I want 3 more of the other ones that you didn't want to tell me about. And then now I'm like, I'll just take a Rainier.
Yeah.
See, I like bitter is fine. Like I like porters and stouts and
those are not
bitter.
bitter. Those are sweets.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sweet.
They do this. Even though Corey lives on Sour Patch Kids.
Difference is I don't care.
Yeah.
Also, actually not anymore.
I mean, there's a pack of Sour Patch Kids in the bus, right?
Those aren't mine.
Been eaten.
That's true.
You talk about this. You talk about your grass, the Easter grass, or
The Easter grass.
and they haven't been eaten.
Whatever.
You give them
It's
credit.
the emergency stash.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So you guys are like,
break
oh,
glass in
dude,
case of emergency.
Just when my blood sugar gets a little low.
It's never low. It's never low. But yeah, he says he likes bitter things. He does not.
No, he does not.
He does not.
I like coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee with milk
coffee.
and sugar.
As it should be drank.
If you do coffee, just drink it black.
Yeah, what are you, fucking Clint Eastwood? Shut up.
That's a good Clint Eastwood quote.
You don't want to be Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino. He's awful.
Yeah.
You feeling lucky, punk?
That's the only one I got.
Dude, people look me in the eye and be like, I drink coffee black. I'm like, shut up.
What are you, my dad?
Yeah.
Chris is like, shut up. I like bitter beer.
Yeah. But my point being, I like more than just like lagers and shit, but I can't do IPAs.
I feel that.
See, I like IPAs because they taste like if gin was a beer.
Yeah.
I don't like
I
gin
disagree
either.
with that. I disagree with that statement.
It's pine needles,
I
baby.
like-
Yeah,
Pine needles, baby.
Pine needles. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, alright. There's a similar.
This guy doesn't even drink.
Right? How do you know?
How do I know?
He knows too much.
He doesn't drink because
For a reason.
Because he used to drink.
yeah.
But I can't say anything. I just drank a shit ton of fucking White Claws. After
Yeah.
so it's not like I have good taste.
Yeah,
That was my first night hanging out with Eric. We shotgunned a White
What
Claw.
shotgun White Claws?
Yeah.
That was in Portland.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was in Portland.
And we played with Swiss Army Knife.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we played his old band Whippin' Shitties, us and Swiss Army Wife, who we just talked about.
Oh my god,
Played
that's a tour story.
Portland.
Yeah, played in Portland at what was that house
show?
venue?
Gloomhouse.
Gloomhouse. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're not.
They don't do shows anymore, but they were a pretty famous
They're
house
awesome.
venue.
They were saying
And they came to our hotel room after that night, and Eric's like, "You want a shotgun, a White Claw in the bathtub?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah,
dude.
there's a picture of
It was
just the four of
It was
us.
the Surge ones. Too.
Yeah.
There's a picture of the four of us just shotgunning White Claws
That's at
in
my
the bath.
birthday.
No, that's at
Oh,
his
that was
birthday.
a different thing. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did all shotgun White Claws in the bathtub
Yeah.
of a hotel room.
Yeah.
that happened. And then that's actually my favorite tour story now that I think about it. So I'm a little bit of a bully, especially when I've been drinking. I don't drink as much as I used to, but back then I was drinking a lot. And we kept getting in trouble for being too loud. And him and his old
The
drummer-
trouble meaning the next door neighbor was fucking like banging
Well,
on the
yeah. So Jess and Chris were like trying to be like, dads were like, hey, everybody quiet. And I took that as I wonder if I can get Eric and Dallin to be really loud. So the entire night I would just, they're like, what? And then they would speak. I was like, wait, what? And so every single time, like, I would do this drinking and I'd watch Eric and Dallin get louder and louder. And then Jessica was like, Eric, shh.
No, I didn't do that. I was like, Eric, can you just?
Yeah.
I was like being super polite. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to
But
be mean.
no, it
like
wasn't
a
me.
jackass.
I just mean like, it was like, you guys were shushing him all night.
I was just like,
and so,
can you just?
yeah. So the joke became like, and now we still do it like, hey, Eric,
But
can you
Eric-
be quiet?
But Eric took it like a dagger to his heart. He was like,
Yeah.
I am so
Yeah.
sorry.
And-
he gets super
Conscious.
self-conscious. Yeah.
But so he would do that, and be like, I'm so sorry, and then I'd wait like 5 minutes, and I would do it again, and I would get him and down to get
Just
really
want to point
loud.
out, this is meaner than anything
Yeah.
I've done.
Oh, yeah.
No,
It is,
so
like I said,
fuck you.
No, it is like I said, I was drinking a lot, and it is the most conniving thing, but it was so funny.
It was
Funny. Like every single time, like they would get quieted down, I just sit and like kind of smile to myself, like I'm gonna get him again.
I just do
Hate
Big
me
Brother.
Japanese whiskey. You just like handed me a bottle of Japanese whiskey. I was like, okay.
Yep.
I just do Big Brother shit to Eric, like put him in a headlock or something.
At first,
I
I will
don't
point
cause
out,
him emotional damage.
I have not done that since, but it was very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now that joke fucking lives on.
Yeah, the joke lives on. So
we
like,
tell other bands that we play with, we're like, hey, go up to that guy and tell him to be quiet.
And I don't do it like sound check, right? So I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, you should turn down. I'm like, oh shit, I'm too loud. And then I look over and they're like, fucking damn it, dude. Like, really?
yeah, well, you're saying it was like, hey, we're like telling him like, hey, can you just bring it down a little bit? That's like the universal way that he knows. That he's...
Yeah.
The
The
I
wording.
feel like I mumble half the fucking time anyway.
No, you're not loud at all.
Yeah,
That's the funniest thing is
exactly.
you're not loud at all.
I always
God
use
damn it.
I always use the word. I'm like, yeah, just go tell him to quiet down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
quiet down a
Yeah,
little
but
bit.
that's just, yeah.
It's a good joke.
Like,
I do.
well,
it's a
it's-
good fucking
it's
joke.
just funny.
We'll
'cause, like,
see. He just like we'll see the other band talking to him, and then he'll talk to them, and then he'll look up at us and just have one of those fucking faces,
Yeah.
just like
yeah, no,
so good.
that was. I just had so much fun that night because I just kept watching it happen. Also, Dallin, I'm sorry, I ate all of your nerds gummy clusters.
Sweet,
Yeah.
sweet.
No,
sweet,
yeah,
sweet,
for
sweet,
sure.
sweet.
He put them down, and he's like, "You can have some." And I was like, "Okay." And then like I ate them every time. Like what? What?
You want to talk about the sourdough bread?
I wasn't going to. You can.
Do the joke too. You guys do it like perfect timing. It's like long enough in between that I forget about it. Kind of.
Yes.
That's the art.
Yeah, you guys are real fucking good at that.
Speaking of bowling, like Chris was saying, so we get to San Francisco for our first show there ever, and I've never had San Francisco sourdough. So we stop at a bakery, like in the thing. They talk like the big thing is, we make it like with yeast from here. It's like, okay, cool. So I get a loaf of San Francisco sourdough. I'm all excited, and I'm driving. So I'm like, cool. I'm gonna turn around, and go park at the venue. So I put it in the back. And they're like, can I have some? I'm like, yeah, sure. So like, each of them have a piece. And like, we get to the venue, and I open up the back door. Breeze out. I'm like, yo, where's my bread? And Jess is like, I only had a bite. And Mac's like, I just had one bite. I was like, hey, where's my bread? And Chris just goes,
I was like, the entire fucking
he
loaf.
ate all of my bread.
The entire loaf, and it was like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Also, I would like to point out, this isn't the first or last time he's done this. He doesn't. You need to apologize.
Dude,
to
his
your
family is starving. He starves his family.
So, my wife made spaghetti and garlic bread, and then had to take our daughter. I have 2 daughters. She took them to gymnastics. There was some of the food missing, so I was like, "Oh, they already ate." What I didn't know was she had just fed the girls a little bit before they left. So I just stood over the stove, dipping the garlic bread in the marinara sauce, and just ate the whole loaf of garlic bread.
Dude, a loaf is like just nothing to him.
And Chris says, I don't like spaghetti noodles, but he'll house a whole thing of garlic bread. I'm like, it's the same. It's the same thing.
I don't want the noodles. Just give me the marinara sauce and the garlic bread.
Also, I would like to point out, Chris is like a very solid looking guy. He's not like his body is fine. He's great. We will be eating lunch, and I will like look down, take a bite, and look up, and he's like, "Well, that was great." I was like,
"Yeah, he did."
Where did it go, dude?
Dude, yeah, he got a breakfast burrito this morning.
Yeah, he was talking to us.
He was talking to us. Like, we were having a conversation, and then I look, and the breakfast burrito is gone. Yeah. Like, how are you eating it and talking to us at the same time?
Like, and that's the thing. Like, there is no shame here. I genuinely believe that is a superpower.
Yeah.
I grew up in a house with 3 brothers. Well, there was 3 of us, so I have 2 brothers.
Yeah.
And if you wanted seconds, you got to the you
needed to finish your verse pretty quick.
It's literally that scene in Malcolm in the Middle where they're like all like
But
and so I just never. That's my genuine eating speed. It's just
But like
it's a sight to behold.
It's like, and it's never like
catch it.
Yes, I guess
I have never seen it.
You don't actually notice.
We will start eating. Like, we had dinner in Chicago for our birthdays. Like, these guys took us out to like eat dinner. We got sushi and stuff. And like I have like 2 rolls like in a sushi pot. I'm like, okay, this
I got 2 rolls and a ramen.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I eat like 3 or 4 bites. I look up and he's just. The sushi's gone. He's just
already on my
ramen. And I was like, what the hell happened?
You don't notice it. Yeah.
Well, and like it starts to make me question myself. I'm like, did I like time warp? What is happening? I was like,
did I fall asleep?
Yeah, I was like something is not right. But no, it's honestly crazy.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it sometimes.
Also, they say I'm the nicest one, but until I get hungry.
Yeah. You get angry, but you're still the nicest
one.
He
does no, not when he's angry, dude. You can't talk to him. You can't reason with him. Yeah. Like nothing will penetrate his mind.
They're like, well, but it'd be smarter if we went to this. I'm like, I need food now.
Yeah.
That's the meanest he ever is to me. He's like, I need food now.
But he's like he will just completely ignore anything anybody else is doing.
Yeah, I'm like, that's great.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because I'm hungry.
Yeah, your wants don't matter.
Yeah.
You snapped at me in Pittsburgh, and you're like, sorry, I snapped you. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't
even remember.
Or coffee. He needs coffee in the morning.
I need coffee.
If he doesn't have coffee in the morning, or if he's
hungry. You
angry.
didn't say anything crazy.
Yeah.
You were just like, oh, we should decide what to do.
Oh, I remember what you're saying, and it was the tone you used. I caught it, but he didn't, because I know you well enough.
Was he shooting stuff down but not giving any ideas? Okay.
Yes! Yeah. That was it.
No, if we're trying to decide something as a group, and we're like, how about this? And you're just like, no. And I'm like...
Well, his exact phrase was, well, hey, Eric, how about you choose something then? and Eric was just like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like, but he had no idea. And in my head, I was like, oh, he's mad. But,
he is mad.
But like, that's the thing. That's the meanest he gets. Like, Chris is it almost is frustrating. He's like the nicest guy, and he's also like our little ball of sunshine.
Yes, he's the little ball.
He can't like. I'll show up to practice like, God, dude, I fucking hate everything. And he's like, how was your day today? He's like, I had a great day. Woke up, had some dinner, came here. I was like, that's so cool.
Usually we just talk about shits.
Yeah.
You got to actually gnarly shit.
Eric and I both have sensitive stomachs, so yeah.
But yeah,
it's like he's the only one who's not like crippling mental problems, which is nice.
Yeah, I read the lyrics Corey writes sometimes, and I'm like, geez. That sounds bad.
Darn, buddy, your life sucks.
Yeah. You want to talk about that?
I already wrote it down.
Yeah. But it's nice
song.
to have someone who has like a functioning brain. It's so nice, dude. I think if we're all like in a down slump, it would be kind of rough sometimes. But like Chris is usually there to be like, let's go get them, boys.
You've kind of been on that too, though.
Yeah, you've been good.
Yeah. You're a guy right now, dude.
Yep. You got like 7 hours of sleep last night.
I did.
Yeah.
No, I got 7 hours of sleep, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Which is crazy on tour.
On tour.
Well, he's
and I've been with insomnia. So like usually I usually get like 4 to 5.
Sometimes I'll roll over and he'll be like, "Yeah, I got like 3 hours."
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I got 3 hours, like, I would look like you remember Ren and Stimpy when his eyes shit off?
Like all bloodshot.
Yeah, that's how I would look if I got 3 hours of sleep.
Speaking of that, one time on tour, we were at one of the guys from Sunsleeper's house.
Scott.
Scott.
I already know this is going. Yeah.
And Chris used to be like a severe snorer, like super bad, like rattles your windows bad. And one time we were sleeping at our friend, one of our friends from Sunsleeper's house, and he was going off. It was just like so he was on the floor.
I was on my back.
I was on the couch. So we were just like so it was like this, just like let's do one of these.
And the three of us were like this, and
and his face is right in my face.
Yeah,
just blasting snores, and it's been like 2 hours. And I just take my pillow, and I smash him in the face with it, and I go, "You have to stop." And he just looks at me, and he goes back to sleep, and then it stops his snoring for like 20 minutes.
So everybody tries to go to
sleep. I was like putting my headphones and was like put on music. I'm like, okay, no, just like as fast as I could, trying to go to sleep. He doesn't remember it apparently. No, yeah,
I have the dad thing where I fall asleep insanely fast. Like if I tell you, "Hey, I'm going to sleep,"
it's like
you got 5 minutes.
Like, we'll be mid conversation. I was like, Chris, and he's just gone. He's just fucking gone.
Yep. Yeah. Corey's a dad now too, but he hasn't activated that superpower yet.
So I think I might be the mean one because I smashed him in the face.
No, as a fellow snorer, apologies.
Yeah, no, you're good, brother.
Like you have to have those moments. It was always in the van. It was always me and one other guy that were like chainsawing all night. And so like I would purposely like try and stay up a little bit later than everyone else, so that way like everyone had a chance to pass out.
Yeah.
I try,
and then I'll fuck them up after.
Yeah, Chris can fall asleep so fast,
dude. It's crazy. Like
last night we were having a conversation, and then it's like
it's gone.
It's gone.
The snoring,
He's gotten so much better. Like, so
I mean, I just throw on headphones and then do
I
like a 10-hour
lost a little
video.
bit of weight, so that helped.
Yeah.
But,
Corey snores too, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you're like so in shape. Yeah.
No, well, it's mostly sinuses, and then also my lack of sleep catches up to me.
Well, and then
you fall asleep
first
on your
night
back,
I was like, holy shit,
yeah. The first night was rough.
Everything hurt, so you had to sleep on your back.
So the first night I got crushed by gear.
Yeah.
So I couldn't fall asleep.
Full circle.
Yeah, so I couldn't fall asleep like the correct way I normally do.
Yeah.
And so like the only way I could sleep was on my back, and I was like, "Good luck, everybody else." And like,
I think that's the only time I ever remember where I was like, "Did Corey just wake me up with snoring?"
Yeah. Dude, it was I woke myself up. I woke up and like jolted awake because I heard myself, and then my legs and like side hurt. I had this like big scratch across my side, and then like my legs were all bruised up for a couple days. And like I got up, I was like, "Oh, okay, that was rough." And then like I tried to lay back down. I was like, "I'm just gonna lay here for a minute." But like at that point, luckily everybody else was asleep, so I was like, "Cool." I'm just
I wasn't.
No. You saw me wake up?
I think that's what woke me up.
Oh,
then
sorry, dude.
You know, those are all great and some crazy fucking stories, and I'm sure that there's so much more, and we'll have to do like a part 2 at some point. But this has been a great fucking time having you guys over, getting to see you guys play live.
Dude, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for the
show.
beer.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. Thanks for coming after your flight.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, you're the real MVP, dude.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
No, like I said, it's been a great time. I'm so happy the flight worked out and I was able to make it to the show.
Yeah.
I would have been super bummed if I would have got there and you guys would have been, well, we already played.
Yeah.
I've been like, oh fuck, you guys still want to come over? But great fucking time. The EP is so sick, and like I just have one final question, kind of for the four of you, before we fully end.
Yeah.
And I had it, and I lost it, but I have a backup. I think it might be the same. Fuck it. Who the fuck knows? Yeah. But from, the 12 days you guys have been on tour so far, what has been, like, one highlight of this run so far?
That's a good
From
question.
each of us or all of us?
From each.
Yeah.
Heading East Fest for me.
So it might be heading east first for a lot of us, because heading east is like a record label in like based in Pennsylvania, Philly. So like a lot of the bands like we're label mates with, we've never met before or anything like that.
In person, yeah.
And never played with before, so it was a really cool opportunity to go and like meet everybody.
Plus Max was there. And,
Max and Bases got to come and play for that. So it's just really good to have like everybody there that we've like been talking to online, and like, hey, we're like partners now in this thing. So it's really good to just like meet everybody. It's good to see Fred again. It was just like a really cool communal thing that we got to do.
Coolest venue I've ever played.
Really cool venue. Yeah. It was just really nice to talk to everybody and just like kind of just, I don't know. Everyone was just like really nice and welcoming to us. So even though we're just like out of town, we're not part of their scene necessarily or anything like that, but everyone was really welcoming. So it was nice.
Yeah.
I have a different one.
Different one?
Yeah. Mine is lame, but it's just the whole thing. Like,
yeah, that was gonna be mine.
Like
cop-out answer.
Yeah. Well, it's not even. For me, it's not a cop-out answer. Yeah. Like it feels genuine. Like it feels so stupid to say every time I say it, but like I never felt like I was supposed to be doing this. Like I never felt like I was supposed to be here. So like the fact that I found other people that want to do this, 2 want to do this with me, and 3 like that can be, the supportive best friends, the fun best friends. Like this is work, and like a lot of people don't understand that. Like at home, whenever we leave, like, oh, enjoy your vacation. I'm like, well, if a vacation is 12 hours of driving every day, then I guess that's it's gonna be fun, but there's really nobody else I could really do this with, because I would get tired of other people. Like the 12-hour drives don't feel like 12-hour drives. The not getting paid doesn't affect me because I get to hang out with my best friends and like we get to laugh and have fun. I'm always gonna feel homesick. I'm always gonna miss things back home, but like being in a room or in a bus or like at a truck stop with my best friends and like making inside jokes that nobody else will ever understand or writing music on the road that like will become songs in the future. Like these are all things that I'm probably going to hold close to myself until I die. So like you don't get that time back. Like that's what I tell people all the time is time is your most valuable asset. Like people try to pay you, but money doesn't fucking matter. Like you only get so much time. And so when people are offering you money for it, they're offering you that money because your time is worth so much more than that. Like, I don't know. So I guess for me, it's just spending time with, the best people I know and getting to do my favorite thing in the world. So that's what tour is for me.
Damn. You're gonna fucking cry, dude. That's beautiful.
I'm not changing my answer.
Also, it's Eric's first tour with us.
Yeah.
It's really cool to have him along. Mm-hmm. That's like another really good high point of this tour. Is that, like, it's good having him along and be like, hey, like I want him to enjoy it and stuff like that. And like if he doesn't enjoy it, like that would really suck. But it seems like we get along really well together, and like it seems like he's having a good time.
It's been good.
So.
It's been good. That was my answer.
Hopefully next time you see us, we'll be at The 5-piece.
The 5-piece.
Yeah.
So it's just really nice having him out here finally, and like getting to bond with him and stuff like that on tour.
Yeah, because that's always a make or break part of like the first time. I remember one of the last tours I did. Well, it was, I think it actually reversed. It was like the second tour I did. We had just brought in a new bass player.
Yeah.
And the first day I met him was at like the tour kickoff show, and then we left that night.
Sure.
And like the other dudes had met him, but I was like, all right, we're sharing a bunk together tonight.
See, yeah.
Like, let's see how this fucking goes.
Yeah.
Greatest fucking dude that I've ever met, but like those moments mean a fucking.
But sometimes they're not the greatest.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so to be
Tell me how you really feel, goddamn.
No,
like,
I'm saying like
I don't get bands that like aren't like super good friends.
Right.
Like maybe it works for them. Like that's totally cool if it works for them and stuff like that. But for me, like I have to be like close with them like emotionally, and like I have to be
if I'm gonna leave my wife and daughters to do something, I better also like the people I'm
exactly
hitting the road with.
We hear about it too. Like whenever it kind of feels bad, like not in a bad way, but like I feel guilty because like we'll leave and like we talk to other bands like, yeah, dude, by the time I get home from tour I don't want to see them ever again. I was like, damn, dude, by the time we get home from tour, like, see you at practice Tuesday.
Yeah. I mean, there's that Pup song, If Tour Doesn't Kill You, I Will. I'm like, I like that song, but I cannot relate. Like,
I don't think I've ever come home from a tour and be like, I could never see those guys again and be fine. I'm like,
they're like, oh, or like they'll be in the beginning like, oh, it's the nice days, like at the beginning of the tour. I'm like, dude, like,
we don't
never fight.
We don't have the bad days.
You don't have those bad days, really.
Which I guess is very lucky for
people
us.
will get like, you can tell when people are getting tired by the end, and you'll have moments where you're like, he's stressed out or he's. But we're mature enough to be like, okay, just give him a little space. And it's
it's not like personal or anything.
No,
at the end of the day, we're all like best friends and
yeah.
And that's really what you want. Like that's why I loved your answer, because that's the shit that I miss, is just being in the van, not the shows, but just being in the van with my friends for 6 to 8 hours every day, and just like shooting the shit, taking pictures of each other while everyone's fucking asleep, and then sending that around.
I haven't gotten got yet. I don't think, have I?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh fuck! Shit!
I didn't get you.
Okay. Sorry.
I got you when you're on your phone. You got mad at me. Like, you should be on my phone.
No. Okay. Anyway, sorry. What were you saying?
That's the best shit that happens.
Yeah.
So I love all those answers. Obviously this record came out January this year, but what's on the horizon, song and music wise, for you guys?
Well, we're definitely writing new stuff after this tour.
We have a couple songs that didn't make the EP that I think we're gonna kind of reimagine a little bit now with the third guitar. So I think both of those songs will probably be something. I have been writing a lot to myself. I wrote a couple things on the bus actually. So I think we've got a lot going on. And then as far as like home goes, we might do something acoustic. We're talking to a guy about recording just like a couple acoustic reimaginations of tracks, but I think for the most part the main focus is like I said, what we can do next. Like we're not a band that like wants to put out the same record or like the same sound. Like it'll probably sound like Winter Forever, but I mean we have a new member that can add to the big picture. So I think it's just kind of figuring out what that is when we get home and putting it together. But I've got personally a lot of ideas and songs that I've been kind of keeping to myself. So we had some time, and I think when we get home, we're gonna have that time. So
like it's so weird because like we're always writing. Like I'm always in writing mode. Like there's always stuff that I'm like recording and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, this can be something. This can be something. But you never know what it's going to be until we all sit down together and actually figure out what it is. Like, oh, that's what it was supposed to be. Yeah. They needed this, they needed that. So we'll see what comes out of that. We're going to try and record soon if we can.
More than likely, you'll hear something from us next year.
Yeah.
We're things are in motion.
Yep.
Things are in motion.
Can't say for sure yet.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as it's not another 3-year wait.
No.
Yes. Now it won't be 3 years.
No, it won't be 3 years.
I don't think Fred will let us.
Yeah.
He is a very big advocate of pushing us, so I think he'll help us out there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very stoked to see what the next iteration of Winter Forever is going to be like. If anyone's looking for merch, music, or Winter Forever in general, where can they find it?
Instagram.
Very active on
It's
Instagram.
Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Music. As far as merch goes, everything is off right now because I'm not very good at keeping inventory. Sorry. So I take everything off our Bandcamp for tour, but once we get home, I'll recount it. Probably we get home Sunday, so I'll probably recount it Monday night and then put it back up for whatever's left over. So.
Yeah, and we can ship stuff to you.
Mhm.
So
Bandcamp's the best for merch.
So I usually, I kind of have a rule for myself. If you order, I will ship it out within 3 days. So, you'll usually get your stuff within a week. But yeah, anything like that. What is it? winterforevermusic.bandcamp.com for merch. So.
And then everything.
We got sick ass shirts.
every other social is just Winter Forever Music.
Yeah.
Trying to get better at the TikTok.
Yeah.
It's a rough one.
It's a struggle. I know.
Yeah, TikTok is so funny, dude.
Yeah, I don't
but
understand.
anyways, But dude, thanks again for having us on.
thanks
It's
for
been a
having
lot
us.
of
Of
fun.
course,
Yeah.
I'm so happy this worked out. I'm so happy you guys got to come through and do an in-person one because those ones are always more fun than just doing it over like a
Thanks for
webcam.
being able
I
to
love your
accommodate
space,
the
dude.
whole
Yeah.
band. I didn't
Of
know.
course.
Yeah, I didn't know if you just wanted Corey or so,
Well,
yeah.
that's what I originally asked for, and then it wasn't like you guys were like, "No, we have to do it this way."
Yeah.
I was like, "We'll make it work." So,
Yeah.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Chris is kind of.
Chris is such a bully.
All of us are nothing.
He's like at least the drummer in this.
Corey was like, "I'll do it," but I thought I'm like, "Shut up." Yeah.
But depending on where you find this episode, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, or you watch the YouTube version and got to see their lovely faces like I did tonight, check the hyperlinks down below. Go follow them on all the socials. Be ready for your new music, upcoming tours, possible vinyl or tape. You got to hit them up. But in general, just go listen to the new EP, get those streams up, and just lose yourself in the music. Not like Eminem did, but like in a different way, I guess. But
Eminem was fine.
yeah, he kind of had a thing. But one last big thank you to Winter Forever for taking the time to sit down with me and talk about your band.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
This is the best interview I've done because I got to drink beer.
Cheers!
Yeah.
One last cheers for us.
Hell yeah.
I'm all out, but sure.
Thanks, guys.